a weekend. I could say OMG, but I don't want to give the Mets any credit at all. Here is the question, sports fans. Did yesterday awaken the Phillies? This is the Mike Missanelli Show. I am Mike Missanelli. Bill Colarulo is with me. Ray Dunn is with me. Let's review this thing. All right, the Phils looking dead in the water. Fans frustrated to the point where they've completely lost patience with this team. 15 scoreless innings to the point where they're booing Nick Castellanos for flailing at outside sliders like they used to do to Ryan Howard. And then he says, these friggin' people, like Jack Nicholson in the trial scene from A Few Good Men, but he didn't say friggin'. And then all of a sudden, boom, Harper, and then Castellanos, boom, ties the game. Did that turn the game around? No. In the seventh, Nimmo off a Kirkering, bang, home run makes it 4-3. We go to the eighth inning. The Phils are still down. Diaz is back in the game after getting the last out by striking out Schwarber in the seventh. He strikes out Turner, but he's afraid to pitch to Harper, and he walks him. Man on base, never good. It looks like the closer is wilting. Castellanos singles the other way, gets Harper to third, and then Stott, who people did not want to play in this game. They wanted Sosa at second base. It's Stott, and here's what happened.
Payoff pitch. Into right field. Fair ball. This game is tied. Harper is in. Castellanos getting the sign to come home. He will score. Philadelphia leads. Bryson Stott has put the Phillies on top.
And the ballpark has erupted. It's 5-4. Real Muto with a chopper. Vientos muffs it. Stott. Head first slide. It's 6-4. It looks like the Phillies are out of trouble, and they're going to come back and win this game. And then we go to the ninth. And who comes out of the bullpen? It is Strahm and no Hoffman for the ninth, even with right-handed batters coming up. Philly Rob, what are you doing? All right, maybe the splits favor Strahm there, but maybe he had little faith in Hoffman. But what happens? He strikes out Bader, and then Vientos.
3-2 pitch. Here's a fastball, hit in the air, deep left field, ranging back is Hayes, at the wall, Mark Vientos has done it again, and the Mets have done it again. It's 6-6 in the ninth.
And that was after Lindor had singled. A two-run homer ties the game, and we go to the bottom of the ninth. Hayes is up. I'm going, please get a hit. I've been backing you this whole time. He strikes out swinging. Schwarber pops out to third, and he walks Turner. Tyler McGill, what are you doing? And then he's afraid to pitch to Harper. The winning run is on second base, and here comes Nick Castellanos again.
Into left field, down the line, it's a fair ball, and the Phillies have tied the series. Back to Queens, one apiece. Castellanos the hero.
Oh, my God, you couldn't have gotten a better weekend. Philly fans just ready to bail out on this team, and the season gets saved with late-inning heroics. Billy Boy, what'd you think?
Whew, reliving it with you right there, man. My heart was pounding yesterday. It did. It looked like it was over. 15 scoreless innings. We all have nightmares of what happened with the Bats last season, what happened in the World Series 2 years ago. And then Bryce Harper, man, saves the season potentially with that two-run home run. We're going to break down both games because you just said couldn't have been a better weekend. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade. It could have been. We could be sitting here 2-0. They did waste Wheeler's start in game one. But, man, oh, man, what a beautiful day yesterday was at Citizens Bank Park.
As bad as Saturday night was, that's how good Sunday was as they came back. And the question is now, it's like the Phillies have been a compressed can. And so, that game yesterday, that flip top you have on a can, when you don't use the can opener anymore, now they're making it real easy for you. I mean, my sense is that hopefully that has happened after winning a game like that. The Mets seem unfazed by anything. I tell you, it is unreal the way this Mets team responds when you think that they're finally being put down like some old dog and they just spring back. So I don't know what's going to happen at Citi Field. I know the Phillies have two of their best pitchers going in the final 3 games. The Mets are going to throw left-handed pitchers against the Phillies, which puts into play whether they're going to play Marsh, whether they're going to play Stott. I don't really know what's going to happen. I thought it was a really peculiar move yesterday to bench Bohm for Sosa because later in the game, he had so much faith in Sosa that he pinch hitted Bohm for him anyway. So I don't know what the point of that whole thing was. I think Rob Thompson had made some questionable moves. I don't know about Strahm coming back in the 8th because you're then not showing confidence in Hoffman being able to bounce back. I mean, I can't figure it out right now where the Phillies are. I can just hope that Sunday relieved the pressure of them squeezing the bats after it lingered on Saturday into Sunday.
Yeah, that's what you have to hope, that home run by Bryce Harper unlocked it. And you talked about Rob Thompson. I had 0 problems or issues with any decision he made in Game 1. So if we go back to the Game 1, there were a lot of fans out there who questioned why Wheeler didn't come out for the 8th. I'm okay with it there. He's pitched 111 pitches. You have 2 all-stars in your bullpen in Strahm and Hoffman. You still had Estevez. No problem. You need 6 outs. So I don't have any questions of Rob Thompson for the decisions he made in Game 1. Game 2, a lot of questions. But you said he benches Bohm. I was okay with that decision. Bohm finishes the season 2 for 27. He was 0 for 4 in Game 1. His at-bats look terrible. He sulks like a little baby. That bothers me, and I think that's contagious. So I was okay with it. But then stick to your guns, Topper. Stick to your guns. If you went with Sosa over Bohm, why are you pinch hitting for Sosa with Bohm against a right-handed pitcher?
That's what I mean. If you don't have enough belief in Sosa, then why start him in the first place? Listen, it's irrelevant. We go to Saturday's game, and I know a lot of people, you're right, a lot of people, why doesn't he come out? People, please, you got to understand baseball. Wheeler wasn't going to finish that game. It would have taken 135 pitches for him to finish the game. You're not going to burn him through 135 pitches. 111 is the max. You trust your bullpen. That's why you built that kind of a bullpen, to get 6 outs. And no matter what you want to say about their lack of hitting and how frustrated you are that the Phillies go through these lulls where they don't hit, sometimes another guy has to win the game. You needed 6 outs from 2 premier bullpen guys. You didn't get it. It happens. But that carried over into Sunday when he didn't use Hoffman. So who's he have faith in now? And that's my concern, because he's going to have to bring in guys that he can rely on from the bullpen. Can you rely on Kirkring now? Can you rely on Strahm? Can you rely on Hoffman anymore? Can you rely on Estevez? I don't know. So Nola is going to have to get him through 7 tomorrow.
Yeah, that was an interesting decision. I texted you when it came out, when Topper said it on Friday. They decide to go with Sanchez in Game 2. They save Nola for Game 3. That looks like a genius decision now.
Did it? He pitched 5 innings.
Well, you win the game.
Sanchez got him through 5.
And you win the game.
And you win the game because your bat's awakened, not because of how you pitched.
But sit here right now. Sit here right now and think, wow, if this Game 3 was Sanchez at Citi Field, you don't feel as good as you do about Nola going in Game 3.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I've seen Nola give it up plenty of times. I've seen him pitch really well plenty of times. I have no idea what's going to happen. I don't know. Like, I would love to feel that game yesterday shook the Mets. But they're unshakable. I've never seen anything like it. That ball Vientos hit, I said, that's a pop fly. The ball carries out of the ballpark. I didn't think that was a home run by any measure. They just have something going for them, this team.
They do. The Mets certainly do. And you're right about the bullpen. I mean, you look at the Phillies bullpen, only 1 inning that the bullpen hasn't given up a run. That was the 8th last night with Estevez. Every other inning so far that the bullpen's been in there, they've given up runs. Yeah, why Strahm there? I tried to figure this out.
I don't. I didn't look at the splits. They probably look at splits.
I looked at them.
Strahm. All right. So what was it?
So interestingly, Vientos was batting .300 against left-handed pitching, only .251 against righties. But he only had 7 home runs against lefties. He had 20 home runs against right-handed pitchers. So maybe, he had more opportunities against right-handed pitchers as well. So that could have been the reason. But maybe Topper's thinking, I don't want to give up a home run here. So he brings out Strahm. It didn't make a lot of sense.
No, maybe he's overthinking. And maybe maybe the manager is shook at this point because the one thing about Rob Thompson, you can rely he's going to stick to his guns about certain things. And now I think he's starting to wobble a little bit. The Sosa thing was one thing. The Strom instead of Hoffman was another thing. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on, but they're tied 1-1. And they went Sunday from people just going crazy, yelling against them and losing their faith in them and calling them bums and this and that. And they flipped the script to live another day. And I'll go back to Saturday's game. I'm there. I went to the game. The Phillies were down 5-1 with an at-bat left. And people streamed out of Citizens Bank Ballpark like it was tap water. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm going, oh, come on. Seriously? Seriously? You're going to bail? The Phillies have an at-bat left? And you're that disgruntled about this team? You've given up that much that you're mass exiting out of the ballpark? I mean, that is a total violation. And nobody can try to justify that for me.
Not only that, Mike, I don't know if you were on Twitter yesterday. It's the third inning, and there are fans on Twitter saying the season's over.
Well,
in the third inning.
This is how frustrated they get. And this is, again, it goes back to stuff carrying over last year. The Diamondbacks, the horror of the Diamondback series. It's going to happen again. But walking out of the ballpark in the eighth inning when they still haven't had bat, come on, people. All right, we're going to talk about this whole thing. Here's how you get in. I'm expecting it's going to be a very active day. 610-632-0975 is how you get into the Mike Missanelli Show. We'll hear from you after this.
Now is the time to become a Fanatic MVP. Go right now.
Mike Missanelli Show. What? I'm telling you, if you were at that game, you had to be wrung out. If you're watching on TV, you had to be wrung out. The way that went up and down, it was a great baseball game to be televised. I mean, it really was, with some golden moments in it, back and forth. And again, like we're talking about, like, where did the series go from here? I can't even tell you. I have no idea where this series is going to go, because normally I would think when you lose a game like the Mets lost it yesterday, having the lead late, and now your closer, you tried to push him and it didn't work out, and you know, what's he going to be like the rest of the series? But the Mets just seem to be one of these unfettered teams, and I wish I could say that game buried them yesterday, and the Phillies are going to have an easy time of it now to win. They have to win 2 of the next 3, and they've got 2 of their top pitchers going. It looks like they have a slight advantage, but I don't know. And so many little quirks in this game, like Nimmo crossing the plate, having some words with JT Realmuto. I don't know what that's about, but it's big. We had lip readers on the scene, and apparently Nimmo, as he's coming in, says, "Where's Sanchez at? When's he coming out, huh? Where's Sanchez out?" Now I don't even know what that means. Like, what was he saying? That why'd you pull Sanchez? Because I would have done the same thing to Sanchez. Like, what? I have no idea. Nimmo's usually a very mild-mannered type of guy.
Yeah, look, I don't like Nimmo. I don't think many people do. But
why don't you like him?
He's just annoying. I don't know, the whole sprinting down the first
He's
after
a dork.
walk. Yeah, he's a nerd. But I've never heard that he's a bad dude. Like, I don't think he's the type of guy who would have been talking trash. It may have been along the lines of like, "Oh, well, what'd you take Sanchez out? I couldn't hit him." You know, and maybe he was trying to make a joke. I don't think he was taunting.
But I think he did hit him.
Yeah, I think he
got a hit off. Oh, he hit a line drive into 5th off of him, and he had an infield single into 3rd. So
he had one hit.
Yeah, he had a hit, and he hit a line drive that Harper speared.
Yeah, I don't think this raised to the levels of the trash talk you saw in the Padres-Dodgers series last night. That got pretty ugly. Who knows what he meant? He's nerdy. Alonso's a nerd. The Mets are full of nerds, to be honest. Aren't they, Ray? It's a nerdy damn team.
Ray doesn't like him. Right,
Dorky.
Right. Yeah, they're dorky?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of nerds.
I don't. Nimmo's entire persona, energy, I just hate.
You don't like guys with energy, huh?
No, it's not his energy. Like, no, it's his energy specifically. Guys with energy are cool. The way he carries himself, I'll be honest. If he was a Philly, I think I'd still have a strong dislike for him.
Really?
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't.
No, him running down the first, I can't do it. Every time he walked, oh, good for you.
He's a hate-the-face guy.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
All right. So anyway, what did you think of the Castellanos thing, where they get the Bronx cheer for him holding up on an outside slider? And I got to be honest with you, for the life of me, I can't understand why Tyler McGill tries to throw a front door breaking pitch that hung up there to him when he's got one kill zone. And he tried to sneak that pitch by him. But you effing, these effing people is what he said.
Yeah, he looked very frustrated.
Right, so
that was after the Bronx cheer they gave him for hanging off.
Cheer, these effing people. Your thoughts on that?
Fans were frustrated. Look, sometimes Philly fans can be brutal. But at that point, I think up until that point, the Phillies had chased over 45% of pitches outside the zone. It was something crazy.
Yeah, the chase percentage was ridiculous, which started on Saturday and carried over to Sunday.
So you understand it.
People were bailing on Twitter. It was amazing. This team stinks. You got to break this team up. You got to trade guys now. You got to get a new manager. It was in the 3rd inning. People were freaking.
People were freaking out. But what a game. I mean, Bryce Harper, the showman shows up in the 6th inning, saves that game. Saves the season potentially.
You saved the game, but the Mets came back to take the lead.
They did, but like you talked about earlier, that home run by Bryce Harper
was necessary.
Woke up the offense.
Yeah, it was necessary, that home run. And then Castellanos gets a hanger and follows it up. So look, they battle, but then the Mets come back. Like Nimmo hits the home run, and then Vientos hits the home run. I'm going, I just can't. I can't deal with this anymore with this team.
This Mets team. You said it. You said it last week. I think you called them a spunky team, and that's
spunky as hell.
That's exactly what they are. 5 lead changes in that game yesterday. It is concerning, though. I mean, the bullpen. What happened? Strom, Hoffman. These guys are supposed to be lights out. Even Kirkering. I guess they don't trust Alvarado. They didn't bring him out yet.
Yeah, they did not bring him out. Listen, in a lot of ways, bullpen guys are like kickers. Sometimes they go bad. Now, hopefully, they can rebound from this. But he showed a little fear in using Hoffman, I thought. He didn't bring him out, and he went with Strom. That's both of them did not succeed the night before, but it seemed like he had more faith in Strom in that situation. So we'll see how it proceeds to go forward.
It's interesting because why does Thompson buck the trend there of not going righty on righty?
I don't know.
I
have no idea. I don't know. Did anybody ask him after the game?
I didn't
what that
hear
was.
Ray,
I
did
didn't
you
see
hear
anything
anything
from it.
Yeah, that should have been a question. But all right, so let's the Fox broadcast. I'm not. I don't like Wainwright or AJ Brzezinski. I thought does a good job with the play-by-play. I think their post-game show is. What is the value of Big Papi? Can anybody tell me what the hell the value of him is on a post-game show? A-Rod just talks like he's so in love with himself that he just has to talk. Jeter adds nothing. Like that post-game show blows.
I loved your tweet. With all due respect.
All due respect.
Once you say that,
listen, they're great players, all three of them, right? All due respect. That's what I mean by all due respect. But Big Papi's been wasting my time for 3 years now.
But with all due respect is always followed by, I'm about to disrespect the hell out of you. With all due respect.
I get it. And I'm sitting there going, and A-Rod just panders to Big Papi. But it's, that's not even relevant at this point. So, what's relevant are some Fox Sports broadcast calls and Mets radio calls. Now, I took a lot of crap for playing the Mets radio call.
Yeah, like what, Ray? 5 times?
Yeah.
Felt like it.
And Ray was rehired over the weekend because you did fire him on Friday after he refused to end the show.
I just showed up to work.
Yeah,
I just showed up like nothing happened.
You like Costanza.
I had my Costanza moment today.
All right, so let's go with the 6th inning home run from Bryce Harper from Fox Sports first and then from Mets Radio second, Ray.
Fastball punch to the air. Deep center field. Back it goes, and Bryce Harper brings life to Philadelphia. It's 3-2.
That's an undercall. That hit the damn Ivy backdrop. Come on, man.
An undercall.
That's an undercall. All right, so now let's go to Mets Radio with that Howie Rose guy.
2-2 to Harper. Turner not too big a lead at first. Severino deals. Swinging a high fly ball deep to center. Back goes Bader. Onto the track. It's gone. And long gone as he hit it off the back wall. In straightaway center field. A 2-run homer for Bryce Harper. And the Phillies fans have awakened.
See, that's
the Mets 3, the Phillies 2.
That's a depressive call.
Yeah.
Yeah, but at least he had the particulars right because it did hit the backdrop. All right, we'll continue doing this. And Ray obviously has the award to Bryce Harper for his pandering yesterday after the game.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
Oh, well, there's all kinds of little twists that we need to talk about. Buster Olney's going to join us at 11:30 to talk about this series. We got Kelly Green Cash coming up, and we'll go around the NFL because there was NFL football this weekend, not with the Eagles. Nick Sirianni got heckled at the game. We'll talk about that as well. The Mike Missanelli Show continues.
Victory song early, Mike.
It's brought to you by Window Nation. Take advantage of Window Nation's 50% off sale on all style windows, plus make no down payment, no payments, no interest for 12 full months. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com. I'm looking at Twitter yesterday, and it's just amazing to me. This team can't take the heat. This team needs to be blown up. Come on. Fans, listen, I get it. I get it that your emotions go deep, but you got to hang in there. And there'll be a time when you can bury your team. Like if they went down 0-2, oh, yeah, you can come out and bury them and say this team needs to be blown up. But you don't frickin' leave the ballpark in the 8th inning. That's disappointing to me. As somebody who always has Philly fans back, I'm watching them pour out of there, and I go, what the hell? It's 5-1. What, they're not capable of scoring 4 runs?
It's frustrating. It's frustrating. Look, I have a bone to pick with a lot of Philadelphia Phillies fans because there were some of us, and I'm including myself, that have been worried about this team since the All-Star break because they have not played very good baseball since the All-Star break. And a lot of people said, what are you talking about? This is a great baseball team. You got to stay patient. This is just baseball. This is just baseball. Well, those people who told us to be patient, to trust this team, to trust the manager.
You're talking about me.
But
you're talking about me.
You were one of them. But you weren't one of them tweeting out the game's over. The season's over.
Because it's baseball. That's why.
But all these people who told us who were worried to be calm were the same ones who bailed on this team in the third inning of Game 2.
And here's the problem. They bail because they don't want – it's to deflect the hurt. Listen, if it hurts, absorb the hurt when it's time to absorb the hurt. That's all I ask. I understand it if they lost to the Mets and they went down 0-2. There probably would have been no hope, and it would have been a disaster. And then you can react to the disaster. But this doomsaying that goes on in this town, okay, Mike, did you really expect they were going to come back? That's not the point. Whether I expected they weren't going to come back. No, things look bleak. Just like they looked bleak yesterday. Until then, something magical happens in baseball. And somebody hits a home run and unleashes the Kraken. You know, you got to be smart about what you're saying. And here's another beef I have. I'm tired of reading it. I'm tired of Philly fans saying, well, these announcers are so biased towards the Mets. Sit down and frickin' chill. They're not biased against your team.
Yeah,
they're not biased against your team. All right, it's not McCarthy and Kruk. It's a national broadcast. Shut the F up about it.
I don't care about the bias. I just don't think they did that great of a job.
But it's always, they're talking more about the Mets than us. That's why we need McCarthy and Kruk. Of course, they're going to be more biased towards your home team. It's a national broadcast. The whole nation's watching, not just your little pocket of Philly fans. Grow up.
Yeah, they're just looking for reasons to be upset. They are. They're just looking for reasons to be upset. But let's go back to Game 1, though. Because
let's go back to Game 1.
Because I still am waiting.
I had a nice little seat, 20 rows up between home plate and third base.
I'm still waiting, though, Mike.
Nothing was happening.
I'm waiting. A lot of people tweeted at you on Saturday night. A lot of people told you that you owed me an apology. That you owed me an apology, that I was concerned. Exactly what I said I was worried about happened, and I expect the apology to come. It's now 10:36. I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for it.
What do you want me to say to you? Okay, they had no choice but to sit out, and it doesn't work every single time at a team on the. But look around baseball. The teams on how they make it out. The teams on a bye.
The other 3 teams were fine.
Yeah.
The other 3 teams were fine.
Okay, so listen, it's just coincidence. It's just now. Here's what I will say: the Phillies let the Mets beat them with a bullpen game on Saturday, which is really disheartening because Senga is one thing when he starts it, and Schwarber bangs a home run, and then you get flippy with your at bats by chasing and doing it, and then you start chasing when Peterson comes in. And you let the bullpen beat you in that game, which there's no cause for.
There was no cause for it, but the reason I want the apology is because I was told on Friday that I was worried about nothing. That there was no chance that the bats would be cold on Saturday.
What do your worries get you? Does it get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks? Like, what are you trying to? What are you trying to accomplish here?
I'll tell you, it doesn't get you a
Does it
coffee at
coffee? What's
Starbucks.
it get
That's
him,
too
Ray?
expensive.
What does it get him? That he was worried about the layoff. What is that, like some genius view that you were worried about the layoff?
No, it wasn't just the layoff, okay? On Friday, I was expressing my concern that if the bats were cold, that they could potentially waste a Zach Wheeler gem. And I was told I was crazy. I had Dylan behind me with a dog on the glass. Oh, if you're scared, get a dog. All these people were coming at me on Friday. My exact fears were realized on Saturday.
Yeah, but you were saying because of the bye. And if you want to blame the bye, how did 3 other teams overcome that, score 6 runs, 7 runs, and 7 runs, and all win? The Phillies didn't execute.
The Phillies bats, not only with the bye, were a little cold down the stretch. I'm hoping and praying that Bryce Harper's home run has awoken these bats.
Awakened.
Awoken? Awakened.
Awakened.
Brought them back to life.
Brought them back. There we go. Thank you, Ray.
No problem.
Thank you. I just, a nice little, hey, Bill, sorry for yelling at you on Friday would have been nice. But I've learned to not expect that from Mike and Ray. Nope, not going to get it today. No, whatever. We'll move on.
Wait. I'm sorry. So what I'm hearing is in the last 5 minutes, you've taken the victory lap for being concerned and also ripped people who were concerned again.
No, it's because the same people who came at me on Friday were the ones tweeting the season was over and it was still the 3rd inning of Game 2. I, who actually was worried heading into Saturday, I didn't give up on Sunday. Yeah, I was concerned, but I wasn't tweeting out the season's over. It was the 3rd inning. The 3rd inning at Citizens Bank Park in I think it was 2-0 at that point, and people were giving up on the season.
Posting through it is always a bad idea.
I hear A.J. Brzezinski hammer that point home when he says, well, this fan base can really turn on their own players, which is not good. Man, shut up. You were one of the biggest jerks in baseball. Everybody hated your ass. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's talk to Eric in South Carolina. Eric, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Eric.
Hey, Mike, what's up, man?
What's going on, Eric?
Mike, I gotta disagree with you, on that, man. Like we're battered fans, Mike. So, our frustration is when we get frustrated, it's a little different, bro. You got to think about what happened to us the last 2 years and how when those bats go dead. They go dead. So I was one of them guys yesterday, man.
Eric, why are you justifying your ridiculous behavior? It's ridiculous to leave a frickin' game in the bottom of the 8th inning
Mike,
when you got an at-bat coming.
Mike, the way those bats was
so what? So what? They weren't hitting.
Game 1, I would have walked out too.
Why would you have walked out? What satisfaction do you get walking out?
I mean, I'm not satisfied. I'm disappointed.
Okay, so you're going to walk out before they at bat in the 9th? What is justify this for me, Eric? It's stupid.
Mike, it's past trauma, bro.
Oh, past trauma. So what are you trying? Again, I'll ask you. What are you trying to save yourself from? If they get 3 outs in the bottom of the 9th, then you leave. But you don't leave in the 8th.
All right. Oh, okay. Well, look, Mike. Well, listen. Look, yesterday, right when I was watching that ending, when Cassie came through for us, my son was asking me, he what you think's going to happen? I'm like, listen, this can go 2 other ways with Cassie. It can go very good or it can go terribly bad. And I'm glad he came through for us, Mike. But moving forward, I can't get over Saturday, bro. Will it go out there?
You need some kind of immunization. You need somebody to give you a shot. You're gone, Eric. You're gone, man.
Maybe I do, Mike.
You're gone. I don't understand how anybody on earth could justify leaving in the 8th inning. For what reason? What are you saving yourself from?
Yeah, I'm with you on this.
The frustration of them getting 3 outs in the 9th, is that the only thing you're saving yourself for?
And we talked a lot last week about don't sell your tickets, and people were looking at how much money you could get if you sold the tickets, and then you leave before the game's over.
I can't imagine.
I'm with you on this
one. I can't believe the people are trying to justify. And when I tweeted it out, at the game. I go, mass exodus after the 8th inning. What the hell? And people go, well, Mike, you don't understand. They weren't going to rally anyway. I go, what the hell's wrong with you people?
Could you imagine if the Phillies did rally in the bottom of the 9th to come back and you had already walked out?
I just don't understand. I don't get it, all right? And it's not the biggest issue for today. I understand it. Here's the biggest issue. Castellanos winning the game with a Tyler McGill slider. I want to hear Mets radio call this one, Ray. Let's go.
McGill sets. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball line down the left field line. It's a base hit, and the Phillies win the game. Around third, coming home is Turner. He scores standing, and the Phillies pour out of the dugout and mob Nick Castellanos between first and second. His game-winning single to left has given the Phillies a 7-6 win and even the National League Division Series at 1 win apiece.
Yeah, that guy's good. That guy's a good broadcaster.
He didn't sound that disappointed.
Well, listen, he gave the call, even though he's doing the Mets broadcast, he gave the call some proper pump.
Yeah, that's a professional job right there by that guy.
There you go.
That is a professional job. Can we? Do you want to get into the Bryce Harper, or are we saving this Bryce Harper clip?
Let's get it. Let's get it, because you're itching for it. Bill does not like the Bryce Harper pandering.
Well, no, it's Bryce Harper.
Ray doesn't either, I don't think.
Bryce Harper.
Don't throw me into this.
Hold on.
Whoa. I want him to go with this today because I'd love to see him get buried for this.
Listen. I'm not hating on Bryce Harper today. I am going to respect the commitment and dedication that Bryce Harper has to pandering to this city. It is after game 2. You just won an epic game. 5 lead changes, walk-off hit by Nick Castellanos, and the commitment to pandering by Bryce Harper is real, because listen to what he told his teammates. Who would have been proud?
Yeah, I mean, I thought both teams, man, punch for punch. I said it to the guys. I said Rocky would be proud.
Come on, man. Listen, I love you, Bryce. Bryce, I love you, man. You probably saved the season with that 2-run home run, but really, Rocky would be proud? This is pandering on a whole different level, Ray.
Well, actually, Tom Verducci brought the Rocky point up on the post-game interview with Castellanos. Another brilliant job, by the way, on a post-game interview with Nick Castellanos, who, on his way over to his kid, pushes a cameraman.
Yeah, he did. But seriously, though, like,
do we have that interview? We don't have that interview, do we? The first question, he gave another one-word answer, I think. The first question.
Yeah, he's not great at interviews.
But you got to talk to him. I can imagine people go, "Oh, Jesus H, we got to
talk to Nick Castellanos.
We got to talk to Nick Castellanos as the hero."
But to Bryce, though, about Rocky, like, you're talking to a guy. I grew up idolizing the Rocky movies, the character. My family's from South Philly. I'm Italian. I get it. I love Rocky Balboa. But the commitment to pandering that Bryce Harper has is on a different level. You got to respect it at this point. I'm not even hating on him.
That's the way he keeps the wolves away from the door, man. But the guys like Bohm and the guys like Castellanos who go, these freaking people, they're always they're going to have a lack of patience. One of the greatest sluggers in the history of this franchise got booed for swinging at outside sliders. Brian Howard, how many years did he get booed for that?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
All right, let's go to Greg in Bethlehem. Greg, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Greg.
Hey, guys. Got a strategy question. I don't think the Mets pitchers threw a first pitch strike the whole game, or at least the majority, and yet we were waving at half of them. When would you instruct the hitters to take a pitch?
You don't instruct hitters to take a pitch in the major leagues. You don't. Because if it's a fastball strike, you want them swinging at it. So you can't tell them to take pitches. You have to trust that they understand what's up, and they do. They've acknowledged they've been chasing bad pitches. They're ultra aggressive. So it's up to them. It's not up to anybody else to tell them to take a pitch.
Well, they didn't seem to be able to control themselves. I mean, how long does it take for the opposing pitchers to figure out you're going to take the pitch? I mean, they were 0-1 a lot of times.
Well, but they don't want to throw those guys a strike anyway. So it's like you can't, suppose you get a cookie, a first pitch cookie. What are you going to do? Like, the guy told you you're not going to take that pitch. You're some major leaguers, man. This isn't Little League where you look down and Johnny's father is giving you the sign to take the pitch.
Johnny's dad.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't throwing
The little,
strikes,
little
though.
Timmy's uncle who's coaching down at third base.
You fake the bunt.
Yeah,
You fake the bunt.
yeah. Fake the bunt when it's 3-0. Wave the bat to distract the pitcher. That's the signal. No, come on. What's in the major leagues, bro?
Well, don't you make them throw strikes? I mean, they weren't
Yeah,
throwing
but you
strikes.
got to do that as a hitter. You're in control of the at bat. You got to do it as a hitter. So it's not anything that a hitting. I have to laugh with it. Oh, fire Kevin Long. What's Kevin Long doing? Is he guiding him in the batter's box? You're in there trying to survive. You've done the research on what pitchers are going to throw you. You figure out tendencies. You got to make them. You got to recognize a breaking pitch from a fastball out of their hand. It's hard to do it sometimes.
Well, I understand that, but I looked at the game, and that wasn't the way it was working. They were throwing.
I get it, Greg. Don't you think they're being told about this? Hey, your chase rate's 43%. They said after the game, Turner said we're chasing too many pitches. Bryce Harper said, yeah, we're chasing. Okay, well then it's up to you. It's up to you in batting practice to figure out what you're going to do. You're going to hit the ball the other way if it's an outside slider. But you got to make that decision in a split second, and it's difficult.
So the coach really has no.
No, a coach can't tell. A coach can say, "Listen, be more selective." But once you're in that batter's box, it's survival.
Right.
I did have a problem though with Bohm because
Swinging at the first pitch.
Yeah, because Budo was wild at that point. You should have just stuck with Sosa, but that's besides the point.
But again,
you bring up Bohm.
It's easier said than done. Here's what Bohm is thinking: out of that guy's hand, that looks like a belt-high fastball. At that point, your brain goes, "All right, that's a pitch I need to swing at because it looks like a cookie to me." But it's like a two-seamer that bends a little in on you, so you don't get it off the barrel, and that's what happened to him there. You don't understand when you see a pitch out of a guy's hand, you think it's going to be somewhere, and you got to make that decision. So he sees it, fastball coming straight at him, letter high, and his brain goes, "I got to pull the trigger." Well, the ball turns in a little bit, and then you hit it kind of off the trademark instead of the barrel.
I get it. It's just in that situation, I thought Budo had been a little wild. Bohm's coming off the bench cold.
All right,
maybe take a couple
I get
pitches.
that. The other school is I may get one pitch to hit here. That looks like the one. 610-632-0975. Going to be a busy day here on the Mike Missanelli Show. Buster Olney at 11:30 with his wisdom on what happens for the rest of this series as it goes to Citi Field. Mike Missanelli Show continues. How's everybody doing after a crazy up and down weekend with the Philadelphia Phillies? But the lingering feeling is from yesterday. The 11 o'clock hour brought to us by Grungo Law, your law firm. When you need help because of an injury, pray for peace, prepare for trial, grungolaw.com. Buster Olney will join us in about a half an hour. I'm curious to hear what Buster will say about the rest of this series and what could possibly happen as the Phillies face two left-handed pitchers. So what would their lineup be? Will they continue? First of all, as you know, I said that Stott needed to be an everyday player. And I don't care about the lefty-righty. I know there's a lot of people who love Sosa. They played Sosa yesterday. He fumbled the first ball, threw it wild. So you're gonna after the way Stott, big hit and a couple of the diving play that he made. Are you going to bench him for Sosa against the left-hander? Are you going to bench Marsh now? Are you going to go Rojas and Hayes? What will be the lineup now as the Phillies face two left-handers?
I don't think Marsh should be in the lineup. Marsh hasn't given you anything. Literally, Marsh has not given you anything in 2 games, and now there's going to be a lefty on the mound. I think you go Rojas in center field. At least he's been on base twice. So I'm definitely going Rojas in center against a lefty. You got to go Hayes in left against a lefty. So for me, I don't even think that's a question. I think that's a guarantee. The only question is, who's your second baseman? Do they platoon Stott and Sosa? Now, before the series started, I told you I would platoon Stott and Sosa. Ray, you agreed with me. But I'm riding Stott right now. I'm going to stick with Stott in light of that big triple he had yesterday.
Well, you're going to agree with me then.
I'm going to stick with Stott in this
bench a pedigree player. Okay, you just don't. He's a better second baseman. He can run. I just think it's ridiculous that you're thinking of platooning him with Sosa in this kind of situation.
Ray, did you come on to Mike's side on this?
Numbers on this one also for you. 2 for 6 against Manaea in his career with a home run in 8 plate appearances. So
makes a lot of sense.
Coming off the game he had, plus the fact he's got numbers against Manaea, yeah, you leave him in the lineup.
Okay, let's go to Mitch in Phoenix. Oh, boy, I just wanted to hear from you today. I was saying to Ray before, I hope Mitch calls.
Well, of course you want me to
Hello,
call. You know,
Mitch, how you doing? Brighten my day with your wisdom.
You know I make things a little interesting for you. Bill, do you think pandering is the right word for what you noticed that Mr. Harper's doing lately? Is pandering really the right word?
Why? What would you call it?
I don't know. I was thinking about it. I really didn't identify much with what he was doing or what he wasn't doing. But all I know, I've enjoyed watching this guy as a Philly since he became a Philly. And he's definitely in my top 3 of all-time Phillies.
Oh, he's incredible.
What do you got going on in the background?
What is going on?
We got the Bridge Club over?
Wait a minute, hold on.
A bunch of cook-your-owns over there.
All you have to do is say, Mitch, can you lower whatever? I turned it off.
Oh, okay. I thought you had the women's sewing circle over in the background.
Take it easy. Take it easy.
What's going on over there?
But, Mitch, to your point about Harper, I'm with you, man. And the guy, he shows up in the biggest moments. He will go down as a legend for the Philadelphia Phillies. But I respect the commitment that this man has to the pandering to the Philadelphia fan base. I mean, just think about it, Mitch. Think about the commitment you have to have that after that game, as exhilarating as it was, that you still have the wherewithal to say, you know what, here's my opportunity. Rocky would be proud. I mean, think about that.
It's not that funny, Mike. It's not
Mitch, he does push it. Now, most people eat it up, but a few people look at it, cynically.
Now, listen to me, guys, before you hang up on me. Was I hallucinating yesterday, or did I see Harper with 2 strikes on him try to do a bunt?
No, he didn't.
No, I didn't see that.
Come on. One of you guys.
I think you were hallucinating.
Ray, did you see that?
Yeah, see, the heat's got you out there, Mitch. You've been talking about the heat all the time. You did hallucinate.
Ray, did you see that, Ray?
Was it Schwarber?
Was it Schwarber?
And it wasn't with 2 strikes because nobody fouled out on a bunt attempt.
Okay.
There was a questionable bunt thrown out there, but it was not Harper.
Okay, so it had to be Schwarber.
Yeah, I didn't see that, so I don't know what I was doing. I was glued to every pitch, but I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't see that either.
All right, let's go to Alan in Villanova. What's that, Alan? How you doing?
Hey, Beth, first time I got to talk to you since you come back. I'm 73 years old. I've been listening to you forever. I'm very glad you're back.
Oh, God bless you, Alan. Thank you.
I was at that game yesterday, and I've seen a lot of games. There may be some games that are more important, but I don't think I've ever been to a game where the emotions were going up and down and up and down and up and down.
Oh, I can imagine what you guys were going through at that stadium. That's gut-wrenching.
It was just unbelievable. So lucky to have been there, and I didn't see people leaving in the eighth inning, but man, if they did, as I told you.
No, this Saturday's game, they were leaving.
Oh, Saturday's game?
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't have left because it was a playoff game, but if that was a regular season game, I might have left. I usually don't leave at all.
I know. What do you mean you might have left? I don't understand it. Your team still has an at-bat left. It's not like you're down 10-1. You're down by 4 runs.
I wouldn't have left. I wouldn't have left the playoff game, and I probably wouldn't have left the regular season game. In fact, I could tell you I was at that horrible Mets game on a Friday night where they were down 11-0, and for some reason I stayed for the whole game.
Listen, you can leave when it's 11-0. In a playoff game, you're down 4 runs, and you got home run hitters coming up in the ninth. I just didn't understand it. I know people are frustrated, but my God.
I didn't realize you were talking about Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday's game. No, certainly not yesterday.
Yeah, nobody's leaving yesterday.
Yesterday's game. If anybody left yesterday's game, they should be banned from ever coming back. There's nothing much to say. It was just unbelievable. There's no other words to describe it. But I will give you a preview of what Buster Olney's going to say. Buster Olney's going to say, I don't know about the lineup changes and all that, but this series is going 5 games. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
Yeah, maybe. And in that 5th game, guess who pitches for the Phillies in Game 5?
Zach
Wheeler, right? Here's the thing I'm worried about. Do you think? Now, I think Nolan's going to win tomorrow, but do you think if for some reason the Phillies don't win tomorrow, would the Phillies pull a panic move and bring Wheeler back on 3 days rest for Wednesday's game?
No.
I certainly hope not, because that strategy, in my observation of baseball over the years, has worked a few times, but has backfired more than it's worked.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't do that. They'll trust Ranger Suarez.
Whew.
And they'll have a short hook with him.
Yeah,
they had a short hook with Christopher Sanchez yesterday. A lot of people thought that he should have gone another inning. I don't know. Maybe he could have. Maybe he should have. I don't know if Ruiz is not overmatched in this series. There are very few guys you can use now, that you trust.
That's what was interesting to me was, you could question should he have taken Sanchez out after 5, but then he goes to Ruiz there in the 6th.
Well, Ruiz, that's his slot. Who else are you going to go with there? You can't burn your high leverage guy.
No, you're not going to go Strom, Hoffman, or Estevez there. Maybe you could have gone Kirkring an inning earlier. Or you still had Alvarado that they don't trust for whatever reason.
Just try to get an inning out of Ruiz. They actually got it. But
he gave up a home run.
Yeah, he gave up a home run. He wasn't sharp. He's a mediocre pitcher.
It's just this bullpen that I thought was a strength. You thought the Phillies had the better bullpen. I mean, I still think they do.
And you never know when they're going to come back. Again, they're like kickers. They hit a spell, and then they get sharp again.
But, man, this Game 3, this may be the Captain Obvious statement of the day, but this Game 3 is so important.
Yeah.
Right? Because you don't want to trust Ranger in Game 4.
No, you're right. And I have a little situation this week that all of a sudden popped up.
Yeah, you're going to have to cancel it. Simple as that.
I have back surgery scheduled for Wednesday. So,
Thursday could be a day we're reacting to the series being over one way or another.
I could be like still under the influence of anesthetic on Thursday, but I'll just have to see how I feel, whether I can pull it off.
You'll probably be more lucid than Mitch from Phoenix is, though. No matter what he does.
All right, Larry in New Jersey, you're going to be our next caller. But let's take a break. 610-632-0975. We'll also get to the text board, which I'm sure is plenty alive. Buster Only coming up again at 11:30. Mike Missanelli Show continues. and kicking. We should play today. Simple Minds alive and kicking. Right. Make a mental note of that for later. All right, so the Phillies chase rate. Here's the thing about chase rate. And here's the thing about aggressive hitters. Like when you see a ball that comes out of their hands, you're supposed to recognize the red dot. It's almost impossible to recognize the red dot. So a slider that comes out of a pitcher's hand looks like a fastball to you for the first 45 feet. At that point, you're committed. And then a good slider will always beat you because it's going to tail away from you. Aggressive hitters are going to swing and miss a lot at that. The Phillies don't have the Iglesiases of the world who want to stand in there and just battle.
Wait, listen, I get it, and I get how hard it is.
I'm not trying to absolve them.
Yeah, you
what
can't
I'm trying
make an
is that
excuse for some of
you
this.
have to make a decision, or you have to expect a slider, because when you're swinging at a baseball, your body position dictates it. So in other words, if you got your body weight in the proper position, you'll be able to hit that outside slider. Most of the time, you see it's a fastball, your body position is going to be different. And that's why you swing and miss.
I understand it. But before the sixth inning yesterday, their chase rate was absurd.
Yes, they are not a disciplined hitting team. They're an aggressive hitting team. The Mets are more of a disciplined hitting team. It's just the way teams are shaped. And again, maybe it'll be the Phillies' downfall. I don't know. But they chase. And they chase outside sliders that they can't hit.
Especially the hero yesterday, Nick Castellanos. That's why he got the Bronx cheer.
Exactly.
He stayed off
So how any pitcher would throw anything else, but an a low outside slider is beyond. I don't understand what Tyler McGill was trying to do there with that pitch.
Which one you talking about?
The pitch that he hit the single, the walk-off single. It's a front door high breaking pitch that he's able to get his bat head on.
Even going back to his home run that followed Harper's home run. I don't know why pitchers are throwing him anything.
And so something you got to count on pitchers making mistakes sometimes. If they're sharp and their slider's sharp, it's tough. Larry in New Jersey joins us. Larry, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Larry.
Hi, guys. How are you?
What's up, Larry?
Mike, you got to check out this guy on TikTok. He was interviewing people outside of the stadium Saturday night, asking them the reasons why they were leaving early in the game. This one chick, her reason was she wanted to beat the line at Xfinity. I swear. Check that out.
She was headed to the bar. I just did not. I mean, it was the floodgates were open after the eighth inning. It just poured out of there. I'm going, well, are you kidding me?
Right. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I don't think Harper said that to the players. I think he's lying to us. That they would have laughed at that. Yeah. Mike, seriously, did Harper say that? Rocky, come on, that is so weak.
Listen. I try to. I don't react to what he says because I know that sometimes he's landed on thick. So I don't react. Like if he's in a slump and he's saying stuff like that, then it would bug me. But he's not. So
he can really do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants.
Well, I hear you. You'll get to Deshaun Watson walking off the field before.
Oh, that'll be in my around the NFL. You can rest assured of that.
That was classic.
Yeah.
If we don't crush them, I quit. I'm done. 30 years, I swear.
Yeah, we've actually talked about that off the air. That the Eagles.
Coming off of a bye week against that team.
Yeah, it's almost impossible for them. Well, it's not impossible.
Well, it's not.
If they lose that game, that would be a disaster.
If they don't dominate the game, I think it's a disaster. But we'll break all that down.
All right, now look, you had a beef. Let's talk about your boy.
My beef?
Your boy Sirianni. Because you got offended personally because he's your boy. Sirianni.
So much good.
Sirianni goes to the game. The camera is on him. Now, you know my first reaction was, the hell are you doing there? Get in the film room. That was my reaction to it.
You see, you're the problem. You're the problem.
Probably that was uncalled for. But I swear to God, that was my reaction. I don't care. I don't want you at the Phillies game. I want you in the lab. That's what I want you.
Yeah, there were people like you on Twitter saying, I couldn't imagine any other coach going to a baseball game when you're in the season. First of all, it's the damn bye week, and he's there with his kids. And the beef that I had was, fans really got to heckle him? I mean, there are Phillies fans at this game heckling Nick Sirianni, who's in a box with his kids, watching a playoff game, yelling at him. To me, that's over the top.
There's some bad elements about Philadelphia fans. I'm not going to lie to you. Walking out in the eighth is a bad element. But I understand how people take sports seriously in this town. I get it. But you're right. I mean, there's no reason to heckle Sirianni.
And to your point, I mean, do we really believe players, coaches, that they work 24 hours a day? I mean, it's not only you saying this about Sirianni. You get this about athletes all the time. Like, get in the gym. What do you think? They work out 24 hours a day? They don't have a life? Sirianni can't go to a baseball game?
No, he can. I'm just telling you that I'm so down on him right now that my first reaction was, well, how come you're not across the street? You know? How about looking at some film? I swear to God, that was my reaction.
I had no problem with him being there. I even saw the camera picked up when they had a batter. I saw Dallas Goedert was sitting on the first base side.
Oh, Goddard can go.
Yeah, Goddard was there. But let me say this, because we're giving fans a hard time. Well, I'm giving fans a hard time for heckling Sirianni. You gave fans a hard time for walking out in the ninth of Game 1.
Eighth.
In the eighth.
Not ninth.
In the eighth of Game 1. I'm going to give fans some credit, because all the chatter on this radio station last week was, don't sell your tickets to Mets fans. The Mets are going to take over Citizens Bank Park. The Mets did not take over Citizens Bank Park. And you got to give Phillies fans credit, because I think this tells us a lot about where Sixers fans' heads were, that they let Knicks fans take over Wells Fargo. But the Phillies fans stayed true to their fandom.
I got to be honest with you. I am shocked by that, because after Saturday, when people bailed out on this team and the social media, I thought sure that there was going to be an uptick in selling tickets to Mets fans.
I thought so, too. And I'm very surprised and happy that Phillies fans did not do that.
I tell you what, not scoring runs in this town is like one of the worst sins you could ever commit. These fans, they go off when you are not scoring runs. They are out of their minds.
You got to admit,
in frustration.
Until the sixth inning yesterday, it was tough to watch. It really was. That was a tough watch.
610-632-0975. We're going to talk to ESPN's Buster Olney right after this. Did the Phillies save their season yesterday? What's going to happen at Citi Field? To enlighten us, a man's been covering baseball for a really long time. He works for ESPN. His name is Robert Stanberry Buster Olney. Hello, Buster. How are you, Buster?
What's going on? I'm doing great. I had a great weekend. I'm a huge, lifelong Vikings fan. They're 5-0, and I went to Vanderbilt. They upset Alabama.
Oh, my God.
A friend said to me recently, they're asking me for lottery numbers now.
That's awesome. And, of course, I'm sure you were dancing around with the Phillies beating the Mets yesterday, right?
No.
When
is it baseball? I don't care. I'm not,
not
listen, that way, but it's been fun.
Yeah, you can patronize this. You can patronize this. Don't worry about it. You can do that. We won't hold it against you. All right, so yesterday, an unbelievable game, a back and forth. The Mets are just a relentless team, and the Phillies had to match that yesterday. What do you think that game did for this series, if anything?
Well, first off, I think it felt like that the Phillies, had a fever going back to last October, and it broke it finally with their offense. And I don't, maybe it was the fans and the way that they, jeered Castellanos early in the game for not chasing. And that whole part of the team that's really become a talking point. Seeing what happened the last two games of playoffs last year, seeing what happened in the first game of this series, and then to see their offense finally break out. Maybe it gets the Phillies back on the path to being the most dominant team in baseball. And I'd say this going forward. The big question to me in this series is going to be the conditions of the bullpen. The Phillies bullpen, 10 runs allowed in the first 6 innings of work. I tend to believe that might be related to the off days, that group may have been more affected by that than any other. It was good to see Estevez had a good inning yesterday. Matt Strahm, I don't think, is going to have another outing like he had yesterday. So I think that group will bounce back. The Mets, on the other hand, man, they are stressed after these 8 days of late inning rallies and comebacks and the bullpen being used so much. Edwin Diaz, 130 pitches in 8 days, which is staggering. They're going to need some guys to emerge in that bullpen. And that to me, whichever these two teams can get their bullpens in order will be the team that comes out of this.
Were you surprised that he used Diaz in the 7th inning? No. At that point, you got to let it all hang out.
Yeah, David Stearns, head of Mets baseball operations, when he was with the Milwaukee Brewers before, they used, at that time, the Brewers' best reliever, Josh Hader, in the same way. His belief is you use your best reliever in the highest leverage spots. And so to bring him in with Schwarber, I thought was the right call, and he strikes him out in that moment. But here's the thing. At some point, he's going to need some help. And David Peterson did with, throwing 50 pitches in 3 innings on Saturday. But they're going to have other folks. You can't go through October with only 1 or 2 or 3 guys. You have to have other pitchers emerge. Who would have known that Josh Forrest at the beginning of last October would turn out to be one of the Rangers' most important players with how he performed out of the bullpen last year? That's the sort of thing that has to happen.
You've covered baseball for a really long time, as I've mentioned before. Of course, we're talking to Buster Olney. Bryce Harper's playoff numbers are just flat out staggering, putting him in a company with the Babe Ruths and the Lou Gehrig's of the world. Your thoughts on this?
He's one of those players, and I covered Derek Jeter for 4 years, and I thought he was another one who, people talk about stars raising their game. I don't think that's what happens with a Harper, with a Jeter. What I think is that they have such confidence that they treat the postseason games as they do the regular season. So while other players around them are being affected, they're by the adrenaline of those games in October, it's like, Bryce, like Derek, they lock in on their concentration. And that's why, down the stretch when he was having physical problems, we were wondering about the elbow. I just kind of like thinking to myself, wait till October. Because once you get to October, it just feels like that he's working at a different level than about anybody else.
Buster, there's some stuff going on in San Diego against the Padres-Dodgers series I want to talk to you about in a second. But I want to ask you about the reaction of Philly fans. They sat there They bailed out in Game 1 in the 8th inning, so frustrated with their lack of offense because it reminded them of the nightmare of last year against the Arizona Diamondbacks. And then Castellanos has a moment where he gets booed, and then a Bronx cheer for laying off a low outside slider, and he says, "These bleeping people." What is your opinion of the Philly fans on how they handle things?
So the Phillies fans and the Yankees fans work under what I view as what I remember when I covered the Yankees, I called the Steinbrenner doctrine, which is that if you don't win the World Series, you suck. And I think that at this point, that's the expectation level. The Phillies fans have reached that level, just like the Yankees, and to some degree the Mets fans are like this. So what I think is kind of interesting is that within 3 weeks, 2 of those 3 fan bases, at the very least, maybe 3 of 3 are going to be wildly unhappy. I mean, and that's just the bottom line. If you don't win and don't have success, and especially because the Phillies got so close in 2022, they were the team to beat halfway through last year's playoffs and were upset by the Diamondbacks. I think the level of expectations of Philly fans is super high, and if you're a player, you understand that, and you know it's not personal.
Well, I think Castellanos made it personal, but he channeled it, I think. You've covered Castellanos, too. He's not the greatest subject to be covered, right?
No. If you're looking for the deep insight, the heartfelt interview, the reflective, he would not be the go-to guy. No. I know this, is that, the times I've interviewed him, sometimes you go into an interview, you know this. You might prep 3 or 4 questions. When Castellanos is there, you got to be ready for the one-word answers.
You certainly do. All right, so here we go with the Mets now coming at the Phillies with left-handers, and the Phillies have a situation at second base and center field where they've been reluctant to play left-handed hitters, but Bryson Stott had a great game on Sunday and made a really good play to maybe save a run. If you're Rob Thompson, what do you do here with those 2 positions, with Marsh and Stott?
First off, in that ballpark, I'm playing defense early. And so I'm playing Marsh because he's your best outfielder. And I'm playing Bryson Stott just because if I'm Rob, he's just one of my guys. Like, I believe in him. I think he's going to find a way, as he did last night, to help you win a game. And you worry less about the left versus right. And the more focus is, okay, who are the 9 guys you want out that they're trying to win you a game?
So you want Marsh playing? Marsh playing center or left?
I want my best defensive outfield, so I got Rojas and Marsh playing the outfield.
All right, you got Rojas in center, Marsh in left. I got you.
Yep.
Okay, let me just quickly ask you about what's going on in L.A. That's TT. I love it. I love subplots like this. I love the Manny Machado thing, throwing the ball in the dugout. I love Flaherty saying "sit the bleep down." All that kind of stuff. But it got dangerous there with people throwing stuff at Tatis and all that stuff. Dodger fans are, in a lot of ways, more unruly than Philadelphia fans. Your thoughts on that?
Well, and I'd say this, too. Like, the Padres and Dodgers tensions are real. And we ought to separate what happened with the fans and throwing stuff on the field. And you hope that doesn't continue when they go down to San Diego. But the stuff between the players is going to continue, because I'm pretty convinced at this point Manny Machado understands that for his team, a little bit of chatter, a little of that back and forth is a good thing. And it was very interesting to me. On one hand, Manny was escalating a little bit with his conversations going on with Jack Flaherty, and he's basically saying, "Hey, let's meet in the parking lot." Yeah. After the game, and on the other hand, he was the guy who called the team meeting to try to settle everybody down.
All right, last question. Who wins this Phillies-Mets series, in your opinion?
I think the Phillies will win that series, and I think the Padres win the series. At this moment, and I picked the Phillies to win the World Series before the year started, to beat the Yankees. But I'd say in this moment, the Padres are the best team in baseball.
Wow.
At this moment. They are playing so well. They have a ton of confidence. Their bullpen is absolutely stacked. And the way you Darvish pitched last night was an eye-opener.
All righty. He is Buster Olney. Buster, thanks for spending a couple minutes. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike.
There he is, Buster Olney, picking the Phillies to win it here as we come down the home stretch of this series.
Yeah, it's just this is the best part of postseason baseball because you really live inning to inning, pitch to pitch. Bryce Harper doesn't hit that home run. We're sitting here thinking about, man, they're down 2-0. Series is over, and now Buster Olney picking them to win it. Everybody's feeling good. This is what makes postseason baseball so good.
Postseasons everywhere are pretty good, but in baseball, when you have this kind of you have a rivalry, the Phillies and Mets going at it, and Dodgers and the Padres going at it, and players taking it seriously. I love it when they hate each other. I just love it. I love when Jack Flaherty, who gave up a home run to Tatis, who pimped that home run a double, and then he hits him, and Machado gets into it, and then he finally gets Tatis, and he goes, "Sit the bleep down, bleeper, bleeper." I love it.
It is exciting, man. It is. Look, baseball's such a long season. So even though you enjoy the regular season, 162 games, it's impossible for every game to really matter.
No,
every pitch matters in the
regular
postseason.
Season games, they're two chummy chumsters. I can't stand the second base conversations, the first base conversation. In the playoffs, it gets real. Nimmo coming in after he hits the home run, causing some nonsense. Because someone was on his mind. It was the edge of competition that makes him say, "Where's Sanchez?"
Yeah, and I think JT said he just couldn't hear him, so he's asking him, "What did you say?" It wasn't as bad as what happened in San Diego and LA. That was awesome.
How about a pitcher go, "Sit the bleep down, bleeper"?
Yeah, that was pretty
love
good.
that.
Remember 2 weeks ago when Tatis and Ben sat down and did the podcast together? We played that
You're right.
clip.
We played that clip.
That is true.
Everybody was friends just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Oh man, I love it.
Yeah, Buster's best stat on that call though. Diaz has thrown 130 pitches in 8 days.
I mean, listen, he's rung out. I told you, like he coming into this series, I thought that the Mets would be a little weathered, especially Diaz. And when he came, he got the out, and then he sent him back out there, and then he didn't have the same snap.
But that's why it's
and he was afraid to pitch to Harper.
Look,
listen,
he was afraid.
I mean, I understand. You can't put guys on base willy-nilly in the playoffs. You got to at least try to get somebody out.
But that's why people in this city, we question Rob Thompson a lot. But if you're in New York, you got to be questioning Mendoza. Why go to Diaz so early there? You were okay with him doing it?
I agreed that he go.
What are you asking to get from him? 6 outs?
No. You had to listen. You're playing a batter at a time at that point. You need to quell the game. At that point, your best guy to quell that game is him. Now, as it turned out, he trusted it, and I bet you Mendoza's thinking, I know he doesn't have it. I just got to take a shot here. Because there's really nobody else that he could rely on in that spot to get an out with that part of the order coming up. You want to have your best guy against that part of the order. And he wasn't sharp.
He was not sharp, and it didn't get better for the Mets in the ninth. But it is going to be interesting. The better bullpen down the next 3 games is probably going to be the team that wins the series. It's going to come down to the bullpen, which I thought Phillies had a massive advantage. I still do. But like you said, they're like kickers. That was a good analogy, Mike. That was a good job.
Yeah, when the Phillies came into the bottom of the 7th, trailing 4-3, I was watching. Budo was all over the place. They let him off the hook.
Well, that's your boy Alec Bohm.
He hits Real Muto. Marsh gets he hit it hard, but way in the air. Bohm pops out on the first pitch. And then Clemens hits the infield thing, and then he realizes Budo doesn't have it at that point because now you got 2 guys on, and you have to go with Diaz.
So Diaz comes up, gets Kyle out,
and Kyle Schwarber was like 0 for 9 against Diaz. So that's that you trust that.
But then you bring Diaz back out. That's where.
At that point, you got nobody else. You really have nobody else. Then you had to go to Tyler McGill,
and they only have one left-hander.
They got Adam Ottavino, but they don't trust him either. Ish and Philly are on 97.5 The Fanatic. Ish.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
What's going on, Ish?
Hey, what's up? I agree with you. I think playoff baseball is different from everything else.
And the NHL can really have a good postseason. But every postseason is great. It's just baseball. There's so many little intricacies that separate it.
Yeah, like you Manny Machado and Jack Flaherty. I was watching that. The highlights of that, and Jack Flaherty just kept talking to him even after Manny Machado just said gave up. He just kept talking.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, me too. I love it too. I have like two questions. What's the relationship between Castellanos and our fan base? Is it a love-hate, kind of like Pat Burrow?
Yeah, that's not a bad call by you. I think more people like him than not. You know,
Yeah.
he's not the most captivating guy. He bugs me. But, listen, when he's going to produce this kind of way, they're going to love him.
Yeah, that's the same thing I was thinking. Because I know some girl that went to one of the games, and she was saying that they hate Castellanos. But I'm like, he gets hits for us, so, what's the hate about him?
He's not endearing.
No, he's not. No.
He's not an endearing player.
No, but when he hits like the way he does, everybody loves him. Now, what do you think about Alvarado? You don't think they're going to pitch him again in the postseason?
Yeah, he'll get his shot. He'll get his shot.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll get a shot one of these games.
Okay.
Yeah, they got a left-hander. He'll trust them in a seventh, or maybe even in an eighth to get a lefty out.
Okay. Yeah, I just think the Phillies are going to win this series. So.
Man, the problem with Alvarado is that when you bring him in, he's got to face three hitters, and you're always worried about him losing command.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I probably trust him more than Ruiz. Ruiz hasn't been terrible, but that was an interesting choice to go with Ruiz yesterday.
Yeah, but Ruiz is only a middle inning type of guy. You're not going to use him in high leverage.
But when would you use Alvarado? Because if you're going to go...
Use Alvarado, an important lefty coming up either in the seventh or the eighth. It depends on who you're afraid of. Now, they have right-handed thunder. They've got Alonso. They've got Vientos. Nimmo seems to handle left-handers. So I don't know what batter would be up that you would choose, because you
We probably haven't seen him yet because he has struggled against them this year. He has not had a good season against the Mets. 5 different appearances, a 9 ERA.
You're not afraid of Jesse Winker, so you wouldn't bring it. I don't know if the Mets have the guy that you'd be afraid of from the left side. Maybe that's why his usage will be down in this series.
It just hasn't worked for Strahm, Kerkering, or Hoffman yet.
No. It hasn't. Buster's saying, I'm worried about the Mets bullpen. It's fried. Diaz is fried. Well, the Phillies have been ineffective. Now, are they fried? I don't think so. They had a week off. They should be energized to pitch. And again, it's just a matter of them having success in a particular inning that'll get them back. It's like kickers.
Yeah, because you're going to need Strahm.
Yeah, they're not wrung out. It's just that they're not sharp right now, and all that would take would be a big shutdown inning, late game situation.
Yeah, I'm hoping Strahm bounces back tomorrow night. But Ish was talking about Castellanos, and I saw these stats today. This really is remarkable. Well, number one, 5 walk-offs this season, which is the most in Phillies franchise history in a single season. But through May 18th, Nick Castellanos was ranked 140 out of 144 qualified batters in OPS. He had a 556 OPS. He was batting 194, only 4 home runs. Fan base was furious because of the way last season ended. You're thinking, okay, Castellanos can't be trusted. From May 18th to the present, batted 278, 19 home runs, 69 RBIs with an 818 OPS, and then delivers. He was your best player after the All-Star break. It wasn't even close. I've hated Castellanos.
I do like his approach. I know he tries to hit the ball to right field. And he did it yesterday with a single. He does work on that, but he is just a sucker for something that is going to break away and out of his hitting range. And I don't understand how anybody would throw him anything different.
You throw it every time. Throw it every damn time. But I have been someone who was saying, you can't trust Castellanos. You can't trust Castellanos. He's won me over at this point. The way he's performed and delivered for this team since May, he's won me over.
Yeah, people don't trust him because he's not endearing. He's a guy that they don't want to trust. He doesn't rub off on them.
But him and Liam, man. Him and Liam.
Yeah, kind of tired of that story. 610-632-0975. Coming up, we got our Kelly Green Cash giveaway. and the news at noon. Don't go anywhere. Whatever you're noshing on, I hope it's good. 12 o'clock hour is brought to you by Service First Heating and Air Conditioning. Get 0% financing for 72 months. $500 rebate when you purchase a complete heating and cooling system from Service First. Learn more at servicefirsthvac.com. Well, at this time, we go around the world. Ray Dunn, at least, goes around the world. And it is now time for the news at noon.
There's a whole lot going on in this world. It's time to catch up. Here's the news at noon. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
The news at noon. Ray, what do we got?
All right, let's start out in baseball. You guys have gotten into it quite a bit already today. That Dodgers and Padres game had it all last night, and that rivalry has been awesome now for a couple of years. And everything has been festering for a while, but I really feel like the party got started in the bottom of the first inning. Mookie Betts, a long fly ball to left field, and Jurickson Profar pulled off something pretty incredible. He had pretty much an entire ballpark believing he didn't just rob a home run.
To Mookie Betts is lifted in the air to left field. It sends Profar back, tiptoeing to the corner. He's at the wall. It is. Nobody's sure yet. Now they say
he caught it.
He caught it. Mookie Betts is rounding the bases thinking that it's a home run. Jurickson Profar says, I got it.
He was doing the old, I'm going to just milk this for about 15 seconds. Watch this. He goes in. I thought he caught it the first time, but the way he was reacting, I'm with you. So he catches that ball. Now he's just going to play you know what? I'm going to talk to the fans a little bit, bounce up and down. I'm not even going to let my teammates know I've got it.
He okey-doked him. I thought it was great. He okey-doked the fans because they're looking at, is there a magician here with a disappearing ball? Like, what happened? He had it in his glove the whole time and just stared him down.
It's a great catch, man.
It was a great catch. And he was real humble afterwards. They got an interview with him in the dugout right afterwards. Then he said, I always wanted to rob somebody of a home run. It's like a lifelong dream. He goes, so I just sat there. I wanted to enjoy the moment.
Yeah, that is pretty good. When we were kids, that's all I would ever do. You know, you pretend
Over
to be
the hedge.
Yeah, you pretend to be doing it.
Man, we had a wiffle ball park in the corner of my street, and it was lined with hedges in a perfect diamond shape. And we, you hit the wiffle ball, you just dive into the hedge to try to snare one.
It's always the best.
They could never snare mine. Mine were deep. They were off the side of a house beyond the right field wall when I used to hit left-handed.
What else we got, Ray?
Wow. You know what? Profar might have got to enjoy his moment. Mike given no opportunity to enjoy the moment talking about.
Nah, man. I used to go to the trot. Boom.
That was the best part of that moment. Betts is trotting around like he thinks it's gone.
I know. Yeah. Yoki-doke Betts, too.
And they cut to him coming off the field. You could see the third base coach with two hands up in the air like, you kidding me? Why are you doing that to us? Those two teams hate each other. It's great.
They do.
It's going to be a good series.
All right, let's move to football. Let's go to that Giants-Seahawks game. Hey, the Giants won a game. Isn't that awesome for them, I guess? Wan'Dale Robinson tried to capture a little bit of the post-game celebration. Brian Daboll was having none of it.
Oh, no, sir.
One more time for those that might have missed it.
Wait, what?
So he goes live on Instagram to capture this. And Brian Daboll catches him live on his phone, trying to celebrate.
Yeah, I saw this.
Oh, no, sir.
Yes.
What
Daboll yells, you better not be posting that bleep.
Stop posting that bleep. And he goes, oh, no, sir. And then he drops the phone and the live video ends. And that's how to end a live video before anything bad happens.
That's really cool. And the Giants win. How about that? Nice win for Brian Daboll. Few and far between.
Yo,
big man.
Don't celebrate it,
The entire NFC East won, unfortunately.
Yeah, they did. We'll get to that at 12:30.
All right. And we'll wrap it up here with another wide receiver sharing some fun video after a win. Apparently, Saturday night, the Ravens hit the town. They went out and, whatever, pregame meal, and they ran into some Bengals fans. An older woman decided she wanted to talk some smack to Lamar Jackson, and Zay Flowers captured it all and was happy to post it after the win.
Beat your ass tomorrow.
What team? What team? Gonna be her fault too. What team? It's her fault. What team? It's her fault. What team gonna beat us?
Today, the Bengals.
Wait, is there video of that?
Yeah. Zay Flowers posted a video.
How drunk was that woman? She sounded hammered.
She had quite a few, maybe bottles of Pinot, it looked like, at that point.
So the Who Days are the Bengals.
Yes.
Yeah. So was that Lamar Jackson saying Who Day?
No.
He was saying.
He was saying it's going to be her fault tomorrow because she was talking smack. Zay Flowers decided to take a video of her talking smack, and they're like, "Who's going to win? Who's going to win?" And she dropped the Who Day, the Bengals, and they said, "Talk your bleep, Grandma."
Oh man, see, sometimes I can't hear this. I'm not keeping up.
Yeah, you got to
what's
maybe
going
see
on
it.
in these audios. Yeah, slow it down for me. I'm old.
Try my best.
That's the news at noon for today. We'll have around the NFL coming up at 12:30. But that's energized the crowd right now. And you can get in 610-632-0975. That's energizing with a couple of calls. So we haven't heard the ESPN radio call yet of the Bryson Stott triple, which put the Phillies ahead. Let's get it going right now with John Shambi, who I like as the broadcaster.
Phillies fans making noise, hoping for a rally. Harper at third, Castellanos at first. 3-2, swing and a liner. Base hit down the right field line. Rolling towards the corner. Harper is in. Here comes Castellanos. He's on his way to the plate, and he's in. Stott into third, and the Phillies have the lead. Bryson Stott coming through. Huge. 5-4 Philadelphia.
On his birthday, no less.
Yeah. How old is he? 20? What is he? Oh, he's about 25?
Yeah.
26?
6?
26?
Has to be.
He's 26
6 or 7.
already? 27, really?
27. He turned 27.
27 already?
Yeah, our daycare got old pretty quick.
Oh, my God.
I think it's more surprising that he's 6'3".
All right, so
he looks small.
Yeah, I don't think he's 6'3". I think that's embellished.
You think they're adding a couple inches?
Yeah, I don't think he's 6'3". I stood next to him in spring training. I don't think he's 6'3". I mean, he's not small, but I don't think he's 6'3". Bohm's 6'4". Or 6'5".
Yeah, you got to see him next to each other.
I think he's got to be 6'5".
All right, so let's get the same call now with the Fox Sports broadcast Bryson Stott triple.
Payoff pitch. In the right field, fair ball. This game is tied. Harper is in. Castellanos getting the sign to come on. He will score. Philadelphia leads. Bryson Stott has put the Phillies on top.
That's a good call.
It's a great
really,
call.
What's wrong with Adam Amin? Why don't people like him?
I don't think it's him. I think it's the other two that people don't like.
They don't like the whole team, though. He's pretty good. All right, so now let's go to Mets radio with Howie Rose and the Bryson Stott triple. And notice the tone is a little down.
See, he doesn't run. Kills the inning. We'll see. He doesn't run. The payoff pitch. Lined over first. Base hit. Going towards the right field corner. The Phillies may take the lead. Harper's in. Castellanos around third. He's coming home. He'll score standing. And going all the way to third with a triple is Bryson Stott. And the Phillies have gone out in front 5-4.
All right, respectable professional call there. Little more subdued than the others, obviously.
Yeah, it had to be.
All right.
I don't hate it.
610-632-0975. Let's go to Alex in Bethlehem. Alex, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. What's up, Alex?
Yeah, guys, I was fortunate enough to be at the game, and all I saw was the ball land in fair territory, and once that happened, I actually fell over. I was just so overcome with emotion, and I stood back up to see that we took the lead, and Stott was standing on third, and just an unbelievable day yesterday, guys.
Yeah, that's a big moment, and then they wound up losing the lead. I was thinking, oh man, Bryson Stott, this is the moment of his life. He's going to be the hero. He's going to have the game-winning hit, and then the game got away from him. He was no longer the hero.
Well, thankfully, he scores to give them that insurance run, or they lose that game in the
yeah,
top
but
of the
everybody
ninth.
forgot how dramatic his moment was by the end of the game.
The momentum changes were just unbelievable. But I just have to give a nod to a few individuals here. First of all, Bryce Harper. You guys have been putting his greatness into perspective. He's now 7th all-time in postseason OPS, just ahead of George Brett and Albert Pujols. among qualified hitters. You know, this guy was just—he's born for these moments.
Yeah, he crushed that. He really did. And I can see why you wouldn't want to pitch to him from that point on. I mean, it's like Barry Bonds. You never pitched to him. But in the late innings, you have to try to get him out, don't you? You got to make him try to swing at a bad pitch. You're throwing 4 balls that are like that he can take easily, and you put a runner on in late innings. That's always precarious for a relief pitcher.
Yeah, I don't know what you do with Harper, honestly, if you're the opposition. But just lastly, just a quick nod to Trey Turner. Great at bat, really good game. They're in the 9th inning, and I'm a big Rob Thompson fan. A lot of questioning his decisions. Look, we won the game, and I actually liked the Sosa move. I thought it sent a message to Bohm. It sent a message to the team, and I was all in favor of that move, honestly, guys.
You were. I wasn't. I wasn't, because you got to. Here's why. Because he's a sulker, and so if you did not play him in that game, you've totally lost them, and then you send him up the pinch hit anyway for the guy that you chose over him. So I don't understand what he was trying to accomplish with that.
Well, I agree entirely that he is a sulker, and that's why they made the move, throwing the helmet and everything. So that needs to change, because you can't be showing your frustration.
But you can't be putting those lessons out when you need a guy. You know, in the regular season you could do that. You need a guy. Like I say, you don't believe enough in Sosa. You believe enough in Sosa because you say he's an energy guy. And then you want to pinch in for Sosa anyway with Bohm. So I don't know.
You guys are great. Thank you.
All right, man. I just didn't understand the rationale there.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with him sitting Bohm. It's then stay committed to it.
I do. I don't. Why do you don't have to overthink stuff.
How are you overthinking it?
Because he's a good third baseman. You at any moment he could get it back. You don't play an inferior player ahead of a guy that you need to count on. 610-632.
Been ice cold though, Mike.
It doesn't matter. He can come out of it any moment. What ice cold? So what are you going to do? You're going to keep him cold on the bench? He's got to see. He's got to get at bats. Mike Missanelli Show, back after this. No show. All right. Here's the other thing about this Alec Boehm thing. This here on the broadcast that Rob Thompson texted him.
Yeah, he texted him. Didn't call him.
Texted him that he wasn't going to be in the lineup. Now, come on, man. Come on. Now, you get a text. You're a starting third baseman in this league. You're an all-star. You almost won the home run hitting contest. You get a text from the manager, we're going to go Sosa tomorrow?
I liked it, man.
You liked what?
I liked it.
You
Alec
liked
Boehm.
what? I mean, you liked the fact that he benched him or that he texted him?
Oh, that he benched him.
Okay. Well, what the text? Talk to me about the text. Forget about your misguided opinion that Sosa should have played.
Now you're disagreeing. Before, Rob Thompson could do no wrong in your eyes.
No. What? I thought he wobbled. Listen, I reserve the right to criticize when I think he wobbled. I think he wobbled on that move. You don't text a guy because you know what his demeanor is. Well, you're going to punish a guy because he threw a helmet. I don't like the helmet either. You're going to have to handle that down the road, or team leaders need to handle that because he does it. He is a sulker, and I don't like that either. Because baseball is such you're going to fail a lot. And if you sulk every time you fail, your confidence is going to be terrible. So, but what I disagree with is you don't text them and you don't you tell the world you're playing Sosa because he brings energy. So Boehm, I don't bring energy.
He doesn't. How does Boehm bring energy?
He hit all year. He hadn't hit lately, but he's hit all year. He was an all-star player.
The sulking and that attitude.
I don't fiddle-faddle with this stuff. I do not want to rely on backup players to play as starters in the playoffs. I would not have made the move. Now, if you want to say, Sosa should play against a left-hander for Stott, I don't know. I wouldn't do that either. I am not taking Stott or Boehm out of my lineup. I'm just not doing it.
See, I can't criticize Rob Thompson for making this move because this is exactly the type of move that I wanted him to make when they were struggling. And I said, when we go back a couple of weeks, is Rob Thompson going to stick with this patience even in the postseason when you don't have time? We've talked about this. In a 162-game season, Rob Thompson can be patient because you're going to get it back. You're going to go through lulls. In a 5-game series, you don't have that luxury. You can't be patient. So if Rob Thompson felt that the energy that Alec Boehm was bringing wasn't good enough, you got to do something. You couldn't afford to lose that game. So I'm okay with it. I don't understand him pinch hitting with Boehm in the seventh.
Okay, well, that tells you he didn't really believe in Sosa anyway. That's my whole point. If you think he's going to bring energy, then you're going to play him the whole game at third base. You pinch hit for him.
Yeah, that didn't make sense.
Pinch hit for Sosa with Boehm.
That didn't make sense to me.
Okay, it looks like a flimsy decision then in the first place. If you're going to wobble making that decision and bring Boehm back anyway, then your decision is really not that certain to begin with.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't understand that at all. I'm okay with it. Boehm coming into the game, he was 0 for 4 in game 1. He was 2 of his last 27. So it's not only that he's sulking, he's also not hitting at all.
Okay, Rob Thompson is a manager. One of the reasons why I like him. He doesn't like to mess with guys' confidence. He doesn't like to do it. He trusts. He knows as a manager when you play with guys' head, it messes up their confidence, and that little messing up of confidence is the difference between whether you're going to hit or not. So he messed up his confidence. He said, I get a text. I'm not playing. Sosa's playing. Especially that guy. You're messing with his confidence.
Don't you think it says something?
Says
that
what?
The guy,
what does it say?
It says something that the guy that's always so patient with his guys made this move?
It says panic. That's what it says to me.
I think it says something about where Boehm's at right now.
Well, when you treat guys the same way the whole time, you don't mess with their confidence, and then you're going to make a move like that, you're going to wobble his confidence. Am I right?
I think his confidence is already shot.
Okay,
Yeah.
but how do you get that back, Ray? How do you get your confidence back as a hitter?
At some point, he's got to ask the question, is he going to press too much where it's going to become a problem for us?
But the only way you get back is to get in the box.
But you don't have that time. The luxury of time doesn't exist in a 5-game series. So if Rob Thompson didn't think that, hey, if I just let this guy bat his way through it, There's a chance we lose this game. I think you have to do what he did, and now we'll find out if it was the right move. If Alec Boehm has a great Game 3, then it was the right move.
All right, fine. That's fine. I'm looking at Game 2. I would not have done it for Game 2.
You also would not have started Sanchez. You would have went with Nola, and now that looks like it was a great decision that you have Aaron Nola in a pivotal Game 3.
Maybe.
You would hope.
We'll see if it is.
You certainly feel better today knowing you have Nola going at Citi
It's
Field.
not like Sanchez dazzled. He lasted 5 innings.
He did enough to win.
He did?
He did enough
Really?
to win.
He did 5 innings. The game was over. I didn't realize the game was over after 5 innings. He did enough to win.
He didn't give up. He didn't give up more than 2 runs. I'll take it
Let's
from
go to
Sanchez.
Joe in Jersey. Joe, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Joe.
Yeah, Mike, how you doing?
What's up, Joe?
First things first. I listened to young Rick Dunn on the radio yesterday. He did a real fine job. Kid's, I know how young he is, but he knows his stuff.
He's very young.
That's cool. I was young once, too, but I thought he did a good job. That being said, I don't really care about Alec Boehm's confidence. I care about winning baseball games. You got to sit him down, let him regroup or whatever, and if he sulks too much, let Sosa play. To hell with it. You can't worry about guys' feelings at this point in the season. But I got to come clean. Yesterday, I texted my sons-in-laws about the 5th inning. I said, those are getting shut out today. I'm expecting Eagle chance by the 6th inning. But, man, they turned it around, I got to say. I mean, one said they tied it up. I figured there's no way we're losing this game. Even after Nemo and Vientos hit them homers, I still thought we were going to win the game.
Well, you were, unlike a lot of the fan base, you raised the had they done that, what you said, maybe they were close to Eagle chance. I don't know. They were disgusted.
Yeah, but, I mean, another thing, too, before you let me go, is that Buster Olney mentioned the bullpen. I think the Mets bullpen, they stink. I mean, they just didn't impress me at all. Like, everything they threw was, like, hittable. And I think that our bullpen, even like pitch that Ventos hit, it wasn't a bad pitch. It was high and outside. I don't know how the hell it went over the fence.
Yeah, I thought it was a pop fly. I didn't think he got enough of it.
Yeah, it wasn't really a meatball. He didn't, and I mean, like we get there 4 innings. I guess they gave up 3 runs. But you said Ventos hit was a anomaly, I guess, and Kirkering, Nemo got him on that 3-2 pitch. It's right down the middle. But yeah, I like our chances, man. I just think that.
You raised a great point about the Mets bullpen. It's not a great bullpen. You're absolutely right.
But we got punched in the mouth yesterday, and we got back up and we knocked them out. And we'll see what happens in New York. But I mean, I like our chances, man. It's much as woke a sleeping giant.
All right, buddy, you got it.
Let's hope he's right. They woke a sleeping giant.
Yeah, well, we'll see if they did. We'll see if they cracked the Mets. But again, this Mets team, I've seen it. Like when they lost that second game to Milwaukee, they finally cracked them. Nuh-uh.
Nope.
Came right back. 610-632-0975. Around the NFL. Yeah, there was NFL games yesterday. We'll talk about them after this. It's the fan base of the Philadelphia Phillies breathes a sigh of relief, going from, oh, my God, this team stinks. We got to break it down. They lost to the Mets in the first round, to exhilaration on a ninth-inning game winner by our favorite Philly, Nick Castellanos.
Your boy, the Philly sports sufferer, was in rare form yesterday before that sixth inning.
That little Philly sports sufferer kid, I blocked him. I had enough of him. The kid's an erotic little freak.
He was one of many people who had given up on this team yesterday.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk more about that, and we'll get to our text board where people are sounding off as well. But it was a weekend of NFL football, Sunday of NFL football. So let's kick it off. We do it every Monday at this time. Even if the Eagles don't play, it's called Around the NFL. And here it is. Okay. I guess that I have been an idiot all along, shortchanging these Washington Commanders. Commanders, behind their rising star, Jaden Daniels, they won their fourth in a row Sunday, beating these hapless Cleveland Browns 34-13. Now, Daniels kind of pedestrian through the air. He went 14 for 25, but he threw for a couple of long TDs and added 82 rushing yards on 11 carries. Meanwhile, the Commanders' defense sacked Deshaun Watson 7 times. They forced him to fumble once. They limited the Browns' offense just 220 yards. Washington entered the game with the worst third down percentage in the league, and yet they forced the Browns to go 1 for 13 on third down yesterday. And things got so bad that Deshaun Watson, when the head coach wanted to go for it on fourth down, peculiarly walked off the field. And so at that point, rather than call timeout, they had to just kick a field goal, which was useless in the game. And that's insubordination, my friends. I was seeing Joe Banner's tweet. He said if that coach starts him next week, he should be fired. Anyway, the highlight play for Daniels, a 66-yard TD to Terry McLaurin.
Look at that direction. Here comes pressure again. Two Browns ran into each other. Daniels uncorks a deep shot. It's McLaurin inside the 5.
Yeah, and he threw another one, had another long pass. That kid's playing. I didn't expect it to happen so soon. All right, number 2, Bengals. They needed a win badly, and they didn't get it. Falling to the Baltimore Ravens in a thriller. It was won by a chip shot field goal in overtime by Justin Tucker, but this was a shootout. Both Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow traded blows all game long. The two quarterbacks combined for 700 yards passing and 9 touchdown passes. Tucker had tied this game with 1:35 left with a 56-yard field goal, but Cincinnati then got in field goal position on their ensuing drive. They set up a 53-yarder for Evan McPherson to win it, but the snap was mishandled, and McPherson missed the kick, and in overtime, the Ravens got this play from Derrick Henry to get them in the range for the game-winning field goal.
It's a 1st and 10. Here comes Henry. Ricard a block. Here he goes. Rocketing down the sideline. Breaks a tackle. Down to the 5. Galloping 51 yards.
Yep. The Ravens needed a win, too. All right, number 3. Well. Did Trevor Lawrence save our pal Doug Peterson's job yesterday? Maybe he staved off the firing in leading the Jacksonville Jags to a big 37-34 win over the Indianapolis Colts. Now, Lawrence had a day. 28-34 for 371, 2 touchdowns. It was his 25th birthday. Tank Bigsby ran for 101 yards, 2 TDs for the Jags, who had to win it on a 49-yard field goal by Cam Little after they gave up 24 points to the Colts in the fourth quarter. Had they lost that game, you can be sure Dougie P would have been fired probably when the clock got to 0. Big play for Lawrence. 85-yard TD play to rookie Brian Thomas.
Can Lawrence get them into the end zone? Puts some air under it. Far side. He's got Thomas wide open. Thomas. Touchdown. 85 yards.
Big one for the Jags. Dougie P. Still alive. Number 4. The 49ers are wilting. The 49ers are wilting. Kyler Murray, the Arizona Cardinals, took out the Niners at home yesterday, 24-23. Murray engineered 2 fourth-quarter scoring drives. It was the second time this season the 49ers blew a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter to a division rival as the Rams did it to them in Week 3. Murray burned them early in this game with a 50-yard TD run on the second play from scrimmage.
The formation here. It is Murray on the key, but design run. Uh-oh! Kyler Murray! Turn on the afterburners. He's gone! How's that for a start?
Not bad. Not a bad start. At 5, finally, the Texans. They were my outright pick of the week against Bill and against our prognosticating expert. They pulled off a 23-20 win over the Buffalo Bills. First game for Stephon Diggs against his old squad. And the Texans were dominating this game. They led 20-3 in the third quarter. But Buffalo scored 17 straight points. They forged a 20-20 tie with 3.5 minutes left in the game. A punt backed the Bills up to their own 3-yard line. Josh Allen threw 3 straight incomplete passes. The Bills had the punt. The Texans got good field position, and they set up their kicker, Jaime Fairbairn, for this.
Snap, placement, sweeps the leg. Fairbairn! It's gone! Clock City! Houston gets the W.
That was a big field goal for Fairbairn. Jaime Fairbairn. All right, that's around the NFL for today.
Couple things, though, Mike.
Yes, sir.
Couple things. The Deshaun Watson thing that Joe Banner freaked out about on Twitter. Apparently, the reason he walked off the field was because they were going to have 12 men in the huddle and there was going to be a penalty. So he knew they were going to get a penalty anyway. That's why. It wasn't that he was defying his head coach. He was walking off.
Then Joe Banner had it wrong.
Well, this is what's being alleged. That's why, but who knows?
Okay.
Let's hope he is, in fact, the quarterback next week because I think the Eagles have a better shot against him than Jameis Winston. And then San Francisco, you said they're wilting. How about this? They got now a short week, Thursday night at Seattle, who's going to be coming off that tough loss to the Giants. And then the following week, they got to play the Chiefs. So this wilting could continue. Their season could be over in the next 2 weeks.
I bet the 49ers. And everybody here, of course, is crushed by that, right?
Oh, they love it.
The 49ers are going to mess up their season.
I'm so upset for
They
them.
could be 2-5 in a couple weeks.
All right, let's get to the text board. Ray, what are they saying?
All right, we already got some lineup concern here. So we already got people checking in, worried about what tomorrow night's lineup's going to be. Don't go with the all-righties, Rojas, Hayes, and Sosa. Please tell me he's not going to do that.
You know, he might. He might. He has benched Stott before against the lefty after Stott had a big game. So it is possible that Mr. Energy could be their second baseman tomorrow.
It's possible.
And Bohm back in the lineup.
Bohm's definitely back.
Rojas and maybe he trusts Hayes again, and he goes all righty, and Marsh sits out, and you wouldn't be upset with that, right?
No, I would be okay with it. I think it's a no-brainer to go Rojas and Hayes. I know what Buster Olney said earlier on the show. He said in Citi Field, he's going with a more defensive outfield, meaning Marsh in left with Rojas in center. I don't think there's that big of a difference in the field between Marsh and Hayes.
I agree. Hayes is not a bad defensive player.
And there's certainly a big difference against left-handed pitching between Marsh and Hayes. Hayes was a 300 hitter against lefties. This is the reason why you made the deal. Dombrowski made the trade to get Hayes because Marsh can't hit left-handed pitching. In a pivotal Game 3, you got to go with the guy you brought in here for this exact moment, don't you?
Well, he had been trusting Hayes a little more against lefties, so I don't know what he's going to do. I just hope that he doesn't platoon at second base. I just like to keep my infield steady. I don't like messing around with my infield, especially with Stott. I think Stott wins you games defensively.
Well, he certainly had that big catch early in yesterday's game.
And he runs.
Yeah, before the series, I said I would platoon second base.
Now, he did get thrown out trying to steal.
He did. He did. But I'm with you on this. After Stott having that big hit yesterday, making the big play in the field, I'm okay if Stott's your second baseman, but I am not keeping Marsh in the lineup against the lefty.
All right, so you're going Rojas and Hayes tomorrow as your starting center fielder and left fielder.
Correct.
And you're going Bohm?
Bohm's
back in the lineup?
Bohm's back in the lineup. And I'll keep Sosa. I don't know if he will. I don't know if Thompson will.
You're going to keep Sosa at second base and bench Stott.
I'm sorry. I'm keeping Stott in at second.
Oh, you're keeping Stott in.
But I don't know what Topper will do. Topper.
Okay. What else do we have on the text board, Ray?
We got a lot of people that want us to check in with someone. And it is the man that was lying to his wife last week and went to Parks to put his daughter's college savings on the Saturday Phillies money line. A lot of people concerned. We have now received multiple texts regarding where that guy is and what happened to him over the weekend.
Yeah, thank God I didn't meet him. Remember, he was telling me he wanted me to meet him there because I was nervous about Saturday's game.
Yeah. Yeah,
I hope he didn't do it.
I don't think he did it.
No.
I think it was a bluster.
If he's out there, check in.
Yeah.
We want to hear from
Little
him.
bravado there.
Yeah, my man. If you're out there and you were the guy that said it, at least reassure us that you didn't, put the whole college fund like Davey Scatino on The Sopranos. Now, I have to admit, I made a sizable bet on Saturday's game as well. I had to practice what I preached. I didn't think they were going to lose with Wheeler, and they shouldn't have lost.
Uh-oh. The Mike Missanelli texts are coming.
We have not gotten one yet. We have not yet gotten one.
Listen, I'll take that bet any day of the week. He pitched well enough to win. The only thing that people were misguided about it, how come they didn't send him out for the 8th? Do you pay attention to baseball, people?
I don't understand that at all. And there's still people in our YouTube chat earlier, Mike, when we were talking about this, saying that Wheeler should have gone out for the 8th inning. Absolutely not.
Well,
I don't see how Thompson made the wrong decision there. You got 2 All-Stars and Estevez. You need 6 outs.
Well, at least start him. They go, at least start him in the 8th. Okay, you start him in the 8th. He's got 111. So now it takes him a lot of pitches, and he gets himself in trouble. Then what? Then you bring a relief pitcher on with men on base. It's foolish. He did his job. Your bullpen is like people have revisionist thinking. They get the result afterwards, and they go, well, you see, you should have left him in there. But how many people would not have relied on closing that game out with the likes of Hoffman, Strom, and Estevez?
If Wheeler would have gone out for the 8th and gave up the lead, all we would have heard was, how do you not go to your all-star relievers?
Exactly.
He's got 2 all-star relievers.
I know it's fans, and they always want it both ways, and they always have it both ways. I totally get it. But in that particular position, and so many people, I can't blame the bullpen because they didn't hit. Listen, you had the lead, all right? Sometimes other people have to win the game. All right, your offense wasn't on par, but you had a 1-0 lead, and you had 6 outs to get. It falls squarely on the relief pitchers that didn't protect the lead and not on the offense.
I'm with you on that. And then the other thing that people question, now going to game 2, is Estevez threw 8 pitches in the 8th, not bringing him back out for the 9th. I was okay with that decision as well, not bringing Estevez out for the 9th. Because, first of all, the bottom of the 8th was a long inning. That was a long inning for the Phillies. This guy is not used to pitching and then having to go sit in the dugout and then come back out for another inning. He's usually a 1-inning guy. I know he's done it before. I know he can get more than 3 outs. But again, you have all-star relievers. They got to get the job done. I don't put that on Rob Thompson. Now, I do question, do you go Strom over Hoffman there? There had to be a reason for it. But I had no problem not letting Wheeler come out in the 8th. I have no problem not letting Estevez come out in the 9th.
What people don't understand is that the manager knows his personnel, and he knows their comfort zones.
Well, then
in that particular situation, Estevez's comfort zone is not coming back out there.
Well, you just said that now. The manager knows his players.
Yeah.
That's why I'm fully supportive of him benching Bohm yesterday, man. He knows Bohm better than you and me. And if he felt that this guy's sulking, this guy's pressing, I'm going to bench him because I know he's going to bounce back better, I got to trust Rob Thompson there. You've said that a lot. You got to trust him. He's a baseball guy. I trust him with that decision.
All right. I just think it's overthinking it. It's overthinking it. The guy's in a slump. The only way he's going to get out of it is to get really good at bats against somebody, and maybe that Sunday he could have. But instead, you take him deeper into a sulk, and then he's useless when you pinch hit for Sosa, which is the reason why you benched him in the first place. And I just don't get it. It doesn't make a bit of sense to me. Now, if he let Sosa hit in that situation, I go, okay, well, he wants Sosa. He thinks Sosa's going to get him a big hit. But he didn't trust Sosa enough anyway.
Yeah, that I don't understand. That part of it I don't understand.
Let's go to Ron in Jersey. Ron, you're on 97.5 Fanatic.
Yeah, how you doing?
What's up, Ron?
I'm a Mets fan, and I'm just calling. I hear you guys talking about getting to the Mets bullpen and all that, and
and how they should have lost to Wheeler. I don't see how. I mean, they did what they do. They got to your bullpen and beat you. And anyway, as far as getting to the Mets bullpen, there, your pitching staff gave up 6 runs. That's not good either. So I'm just saying, you're heading to New York now, so I wouldn't count my chickens.
Who's counting chickens? Did you hear me count a chicken today? I said I have no idea how this series is going to. I respect the Mets and their gumption, but don't give me your Met bravado, because I'm not. I don't want to hear your Met bravado right now. If you're going to be fair, you should say, well, you know what? I fear the Phillies a little bit coming back and winning that game on Sunday.
I just thought it was a great, exciting game, but it wasn't like some great pitching matchup like from the Phillies' perspective or the Mets, but. Anyway, so it could go either way, but you're coming to New York, and we'll see you there.
Oh, okay, well, New York, I think they're afraid to go there. I would be afraid. Citi Field is so daunting.
I'd be afraid too.
Yeah, I'm being sarcastic, Ron.
I know
you
you
tool.
All right,
all right, get out of here.
Oh, man. Look, I'm okay if a Mets fan wants to call in if we were. None of us.
They're you chickens.
Nobody said
count this
that this series is over. We're talking about how pivotal of a Game 3 this is going to be with Nola on the mound.
See, Mets fans, when I was at the game Saturday, the people that were sitting in my section can comment. I hope there's somebody who can at least add some color to this. There was a Met fan, a burly Met fan, who
That's a good word. Burly's a good word.
He started facing up against the Phillies crowd, causing trouble. And, they were yapping at him. He was yapping back at him. And I'm going, this is going to turn in. Somebody's going to throw a haymaker on this guy. And he's challenging everybody. Come on, you want a piece of me? So the one guy, he goes to shake his hand. I think a Philly fan faked that he was, okay, man, we're all friends. And he okey-doked him with the handshake, and then he flipped his hat off. He knocked his top of his hat off, and it fell behind him.
The Mets fan's hat fell off?
Yes. The Philly fan did that to the Mets fan. And I'm thinking this guy is going to come back swinging. And we're going to have. And so everybody is screaming for the scare. Hey, come down. Because they thought something was going to really happen. Well, nobody came down for a really long time. I'm going, this thing has got to escalate. People that were in that section, 131, 132, in that area.
It didn't escalate, though?
It didn't escalate. And finally, the security came down and escorted the guy out. And he was filming himself giving more crap to Phillies fans.
See, the hat flip is good, but the best was when, you remember the Phillies fan took the Mets fan's cell phone and threw it?
Yeah.
That's what somebody should have done. Just take the guy's phone.
That should be a punch. You throw somebody's cell phone, you're not going to punch a guy?
Well, the guy threw it and ran.
Oh, he ran?
Phillies
all right, 610-632-0975 is how you get in. Let's make this 1 o'clock hour a commentary hour. I want to feel your emotions on what happened on Sunday and where you think the rest of this series is going. It's the Mike Missanelli Show. All right, the Phils looking dead in the water. Fans frustrated to the point where they've completely lost patience with this team. 15 scoreless innings to the point where they're booing Nick Castellanos for flailing at outside sliders like they used to do to Ryan Howard. And then he says, these friggin' people, like Jack Nicholson in the trial scene from A Few Good Men, but he didn't say friggin'. And then all of a sudden, boom, Harper, and then Castellanos, boom, ties the game. Oh my God, you couldn't have gotten a better weekend. Philly fans just ready to bail out on this team, and the season gets saved with late inning heroics. Billy boy, what'd you think?
Mike and Bill have been pleading their cases.
Reliving it with you right there, man. My heart was pounding yesterday. It did. It looked like it was over for 15 scoreless innings. And then Bryce Harper, man, saves the season potentially with that 2-run home run. We're going to break down both games because you just said couldn't have been a better weekend. I don't want to rain on anybody's parade. It could have been. We could be sitting here 2-0. They did waste Wheeler's start in game 1. But man, oh man, what a beautiful day yesterday was at Citizens Bank
As
Park.
bad as Saturday night was, that's how good Sunday was as they came back.
The Mike Missanelli Show Holding Court is brought to you by Grunko Law, your law firm when you need help because of an injury. We treat every case like it's Dallas week. Pray for peace, prepare for trial. Now back to Mike Missanelli on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Yeah, the 1 o'clock hour, Mike Missanelli Show. It's brought to you by Ferguson HVAC Line Conklin. Attention HVAC contractors for equipment, parts, supplies. For every heating and cooling job, this is one of Ferguson's count locations. Ben Salem, King of Prussia, Pennsauken, or Westchester. Of course, Football Monday, which is really turned into Baseball Monday, is brought to you by Pierce Phelps Bryant Hair Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit nopaybryant.com. All right, you're right. It was not a great weekend. It was a great Sunday. And so we'll see if this propels the Phillies at Citi Field with the next 2 games. But it is worth reviewing what happened here because you just heard it kind of on the what do you call that, Ray?
Holding court.
Holding court. You just heard that. But so let's review. Let's go a little deeper than holding court did because they were dead. And the fan base is really interesting to me because they can lose patience at the drop of a pin. They lost patience on Saturday, and they left at the bottom of the 8th, and the Phillies did not strike, even though they still had 3 outs left and a 4-run deficit at the time. Mets did score a run in the 9th, but it was a 4-run deficit at the time when people were leaving. And then the booing of Castellanos is really interesting to me because this reminds people of Ryan Howard. And that Philly fans get so frustrated at the same mistakes over and over again. Right? That Ryan Howard could never catch up to that slider away, and Castellanos is a sucker for it, especially on pitch 1. And so when he held up, here come the Bronx cheers. And then he mutters, these effing people. It's a fantastic theater to me. And then, of course, Harper hits it off the backdrop, and then Castellanos saying, yeah, well, you see this, ties the game with a home run. Now, you're thinking that's going to turn the game around. But no, these Mets, they're just Nimmo off of Kirkering. And then as he's coming to the plate, he's mounting some nonsense to JT Realmuto, which we still don't know what that was about. And we go to the 8th. The Phillies are still down. They have to trust Diaz again because they have really nobody else, the Mets. He struck out Schwarber in the 7th, but they bring him back. And I know that the people in the Mets dugout are going, I don't know about this. Well, I hope so. Then he strikes out Turner. And we're going, okay, well, maybe we're okay here, the Mets are saying. But he's afraid to pitch to Harper. And you know what? Fear makes cowards of us all, Bill. Afraid to pitch to Harper, walks him. Castellanos singles the other way. Smart hitter. He gets the guy to third base, the tying run. And then Stott, and it's 5-4. And we got to play this because this was a really good call by Amin. So let's go to the Fox broadcast with Bryson Stott up and 2 men on.
Payoff pitch. In the right field, fair ball. This game is tied. Harper is in. Castellanos getting the sign to come home. He will score. Philadelphia leads. Bryson Stott has put the Phillies on top.
And then, of course, Bryson Stott going on contact makes Vientos muff it a little bit. and he scores that run on the chopper, and now it's 6-4, and Philly fans are going, yeah, whew, finally. And then all of a sudden, Strom is in the game with right-handed hitters coming up. Nimmo's left-handed, but he's like the fourth hitter in the lineup. So I'm going, oh, what's going on, Rob? What are you doing here with Strom? And maybe his numbers said that Strom was the favored pitcher in this situation against these hitters. But he did strike out Bader, and then Lindor rips the single, and here comes Vientos. And I'm thinking, there's no way that Vientos is going to deliver again. And he puts a pop fly, hits a pop fly that carries out to tie the game. And at that point, Philly fans are just beside themselves. They're just like, okay, they're going to lose now. They're finally going to lose. The Mets came back again. They're going to lose. And in the ninth inning, we get the game winner because, again, fear makes cowards of us all. They got 2 outs, Tyler McGill got. Hayes struck out. You got Schwarber to pop the third, but he walks Turner. Now, on what earth is that a good idea, to walk Trey Turner? Because you're not going to pitch to Harper, so now there's 2 men on and the winning run's at second base. And the game winner.
In the left field, down the line, it's a fair ball, and the Phillies have tied the series. Back to Queens, 1 apiece. Castellanos, the hero.
Can't walk people. Can't walk. Can't be afraid of them. You're Tyler McGill, you throw like 98. You can't walk 2 guys.
What a game. Really. I watched it with my own 2 eyes, but every time we relive it, you did this earlier in the show, it's like, what a damn game. 5 lead changes. And Bryce Harper, the guy just has a flair for the dramatic. He shows up when the lights are the brightest. May have saved the season yesterday.
Well, that was a slow trot, too, he took.
Oh, he
milked
soaked it all in, man.
Slow trot.
And then his epic pandering after the game, Rocky would be proud.
This is the moment that Bill gets under Bill's skin. All right, here we go with Bryce Harper after the game.
Yeah, I mean, I thought both teams, man, punch for punch. I said it to the guys. I said Rocky would be proud.
Come on, man.
Well, but at least he tied in the thoughts because he went punch for punch.
Listen, on the baseball field, I love Bryce Harper. I love him. But his commitment to the pandering, it is next level, Mike. It is next level. That right there, that you remember, you know what? Let me get a little pander in here. Rocky would be proud. A fictitious character who lost. Do we forget?
Hell yeah.
Bryce Harper, Rocky lost, dude. He lost to Apollo in Rocky 1.
So,
not 2.
Come on. Like, we're going to sit here. The same guy that preaches Friday Night Lights to us is going to sit here and tell us that Harper panders too much.
Yes. Look, I think Sirianni panders too. The T-shirts
and all
that.
You know what's the difference?
Sirianni panders too.
You know what's the difference? Bright lights come on. I want one of those 2 guys on my side.
Yeah, don't count out Nick just yet.
It's so obvious that it doesn't bother me. You know, like it's like I go, this is what he's saying. He's saying, it's really disrespectful when you think about it. People are stupid enough to buy this routine.
Oh, it's fun.
Really,
Look,
that's what he's saying.
I'm joking around. It is just funny how he is next level pandering. It really is. But he could do whatever he wants. Bryce Harper, you could do whatever you want because this guy shows up and probably saved the season yesterday. Let's hope they carry it over into Game 3.
Yeah, there were still complaints at the end of the season for Harper. People always love to complain about something. He's not doing his job. For that money they pay him, he's not doing enough.
Well, the fans firmly believe that them booing Castellanos and then giving him the Bronx cheer is the reason he got that hit. Because he said it made him focus more. He said it.
He did say it. He played right into it.
A lot of thinking going on when Castellanos goes to the dish. A lot of thinking.
Yeah, he don't.
You think he thinks?
No, not at all.
Yeah, see ball, hit ball.
Yeah, he's not a deep thinker.
No.
All right, let's go back to the text where we had some text on Bohm, text on Severino.
And we got a text going after Bill for this pandering thing. Okay. So just bear with me here. Rich from Parkwood. I don't understand the pandering thing. He's not from here. I get that. But he's playing his roots here. His children are from here. They go to school here. They'll be here long after. So when we talk about Philly things such as Rocky or the Eagles, Sixers, etc., it just makes sense. He's going to have to be here. So why not embrace where you are? It's not really pandering. Charles Barkley isn't from here and parents the Eagles all the time.
it's completely okay with all of it. I'm okay that Bryce Harper pretends to cheer for the Eagles, even though he grew up a Cowboys fan. That's fine. I'm okay with all of it. It was just corny yesterday. If he really said to his teammates, Rocky would be proud. If you're in that clubhouse, aren't you being like, all right, Bryce, come on, man. Do we really think he stood up in front of all the Phillies and said, hey, guys, Rocky Balboa would be proud of us right now? And they went, yeah, Rocky. Is that what we really think happened in the clubhouse?
Or he said as an offhand joke, and they were like, yeah, that's not bad.
Do we really think he's going to retire in South Jersey?
Oh, you think Bryce is out of here after this?
Are you kidding me? For his first play, as soon as he retires, for his first plane to Vegas.
He's a Tennessee guy now, right?
Oh, he moved
I think
to
he's in
Tennessee?
Nashville.
Oh, he's in Nashville.
I think
now.
Nashville's
now?
the off-season. I thought that's where he moved for the
Really?
off-season home.
Oh, all right. No, I can see why. No state taxes. I guess he would move to Tennessee.
And they got goalposts going down the road now.
Wait, this may be the comment of the day on YouTube. If Rocky played baseball, he for sure would be swinging at everything low and away.
Oh, Rocky would be a see the ball, hit the ball because the guy. He would
be Nick Castellanos.
He wouldn't overthink it. Would he? No. All right, we got one on what's Severino? What's up with Severino? What's up with Bohm?
All right, Chris from Philly loved the back-to-back homers after Severino decided to dance on first base and do the shoulder lean after he got Schwarber out. Chris believes that woke the bats up.
He was dancing away from contact. Is what he was doing. He was a locomotive coming.
Yeah, Schwarber's coming at him.
Yeah, he was stepping away.
Schwarber's the last guy.
I think Chris took issue with the little shoulder lean afterwards. See, like, oh yeah, I'm going back to the mound.
I thought that.
Nah,
He's just trying to be athletic. That's all.
That was self-preservation right there.
Yeah. All right. So what else? Boom.
We got a couple people checking in on Bohm here. Eddie in Camden. I think Thompson's hands are tied to choices like this. Doesn't have many other options besides Bohm or Stott that he can bench without being complete outrage while still trying to light a fire under these guys. We got the win. Let's see how it plays out. Phil's in 5.
This light a fire thing is just in baseball is just so ridiculous to me. All right, let's go back to the phones. Jack in Roxborough, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Jack.
Hello.
Hello, Jack.
How are you?
Good.
Good. I just want to talk about how the Mets are the corniest team in baseball, and this would be the worst Phillies moment, or the worst Philly sports moment if they lose the Mets.
Yeah, they are cheesy, aren't they, Jack?
Why? Why do you see corny?
Corny, I'm going to go with Grimace with the oh my God. Nimmo chirping JT, talking about Sanchez maybe, sprinting to first on a walk. And then I got Alonso. Alonso already lost his World Series in the home run derby, so.
All right, listen, I don't look at it like that. I mean, how many other the OMG thing is something that they grabbed onto, and he did a song about it. There's been stuff like the rally monkey and the rally tail and all this nonsense. So, yeah, I saw that stuff. That doesn't bother me at all.
He is a nerd, though, Pete Alonso. He's just corny.
Yeah, okay. He's corny. I don't know what's that mean.
He's just corny. Like the chef's kiss after first. You're not cool
benching
enough.
at the home run derby before he goes out there. Oh,
Yeah, like
cool, man.
You're not a cool guy, Pete. He's not.
All right. 610-632-0975 is the Mike Missanelli Show. Back into this. Week, not only for Philly baseball, but Bill, as a season ticket holder, a particular team in here, I know that you're all moist about what's going to happen on Friday.
Raise eyes.
Friday, Bill, what? The Flyers open the season on Friday. Boy, how did I not seize that moment?
And they're on the West Coast, which makes it even worse. 10 o'clock start Friday night. But Michkov makes his debut. And how about this? 18-year-old Jet Luchenko, who just turned 18 in August, is on the opening day roster. First-round pick for the Fly guys. But we have people tweeting at us. Bill, do you and Mike know Flyers season starts Friday? Yeah. I'm a big Fly guy, too, but come on.
Yeah, I actually didn't know that.
Well, what are we going to do? We're going to talk Flyers today? After the baseball games this weekend?
Well, I'm glad to hear that it begins.
Mike just found out. Yes.
I can't wait.
And Matvei Michkov.
I'm not even going to go out now.
Came over from Russia. Did you know that?
What's that? Me who?
You're kidding. But, yeah, Flyers start Friday. It's the best time of year, man.
What do they call him? What's his nickname? Is it Meach?
Ivan Drago, Bryce Harper said.
Huh?
Drago from Rocky.
That was a joke. No, I'm serious now. I love the hockey nicknames. What's his nickname?
I don't know what Matvei Michkov's nickname is.
It's got to be Meach. It's got to be Meach. It's like natural, isn't it?
Or Covey. Nah, they probably would go Covey. Meach Cove.
Meach.
Mitchie? Remember?
Mitchie.
What was his name?
Yeah, it's got to be an IE on
Well,
the end.
Vaclav Prospal, they called Vinny.
It could be Mitchie. Yeah.
Big Meach, they're saying in the
Big Meach?
In the YouTube chat.
They don't call him Big Meach. Right? It's got to be just Meach. All right, let's go to the phones. Al in Delaware checking in. What's up, Al?
Yeah, it's Lumberton. Yeah, I want to say one thing, man. I was at that game yesterday. It was like unbelievable. It was 1980 all over again. Remember the 1980 Houston series? The only thing we were missing was Pete Rose. Remember that 1980 Houston series?
Yeah. 4 games, 1 extra innings.
But, yeah. Very similar as far as intensity. Don't you agree?
Yes, not bad comparison. Yep.
I wasn't there.
Back and forth, that series went.
Yeah,
Astros.
me and Ray weren't alive.
You would have whatever, but the one thing I wanted to ask, and I know it might be kind of a stupid question, is when Rojas was on third.
Yeah.
Turner on it was 2 outs. What? Nobody wants to try like the suicide squeeze.
Well, there were 2 outs.
I know. Yeah. It's a suicide squeeze, right? When you bump with 2 outs, it's a suicide squeeze.
No. Suicide squeeze doesn't happen with 2 outs.
Yeah, because you're sacrificing yourself
that would be
for
the
the run.
That would be the third out.
Oh, okay. I got you.
All right.
I got you. But, yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe it. I mean, the way Harper threw that ball into the stands was, like, unbelievable. You know, after he made that great play for his space, I mean, hey, our bats hit won the game, but his fielding was impeccable as a first base.
Yeah, he did make some pretty good snares. And I'll give Castellanos credit, too, because Hoffman came in and got that last out. He had to make that patented sliding play out there in right field.
Yeah, he's made that last postseason, too.
Yeah. The Mets, interesting. They like 2 guys steal third on them yesterday. I guess it really didn't matter to them, but to me that matters. I mean, you're closer to home plate. You let a guy steal. So they let Rojas steal third, and who else did they let steal third? Turner.
Yeah.
Just let him go.
Yeah, I don't understand the thought process on that.
I guess you're staying back as the third baseman, and you'd rather be back there to a hard ground ball. You can get back there, but if you got to inch up to worry about covering third base, that your positioning is not the optimum, probably.
Now, do you think if it was Vientos who bobbled the ball in the 8th?
Yeah, because I know why he bobbled the ball. Because of Stott.
Yeah, do you think
Stott got enough jump?
Even if he fielded it cleanly, you think he's getting Stott?
Probably not. It would have been
close.
Really close play. That's a bang play. You got to scoop and throw. But he tried to scoop too quick because Stott had, going on contact He was like almost three-quarters of the way down.
Good base running by Stott.
Tremendous base run.
Really decisive.
Yes.
And that turned out to be a huge run, man.
It was a huge run. All right, more text on Bohm.
Yeah, Mike in Charleston. I was thrilled they sat Bohm yesterday. You're right. The coach manager can't hit for the player, but they can instruct the player on how he should approach the at-bat and hold him accountable when he doesn't follow that approach. I thought from the first pitch of Game 1 that they should be working counts because of how much the Mets bullpen pitched over the last week. Win or lose Game 1, that could have a huge impact on the rest of the series.
So what does benching him do for him? That's what, in the game, like, this is what I'm thinking. You got to win the game, all right? So, okay, his approach was bad. He's not hit. Well, any game, it can turn around if you get the chance to do it. If you don't get the chance, then like you're useless. That's my whole thing. You're going to play an inferior player at that position. Makes no sense to me. For what reason? What reason? You need a guy to come out of a slump. Sosa is not the fielder that Bohm is. So I'd see. This is why playoff baseball is different than regular season baseball. In the regular season, you can afford to do stuff like that. In the postseason, you can't.
Is Bohm that much better of a fielder than Sosa?
Yes, he is. Of course he is.
I don't know about
At third
that.
base, he is. At third base, he is. You saw the first play that Sosa made,
he's not
which
a
was
Gold Glover.
unnatural to him to throw it to first base. He doesn't play third base enough to make that play, that charge play.
You've said a lot that you trust Rob Thompson as a baseball guy. He knows Alec Bohm. And if this is what he thought needed to be done to try to break this guy out of this slump and this malaise that he's in, then I'm all for it.
Maybe that's what he was aiming for, because he did come back with him as a pinch hit. Maybe he was a shock to the system. It was chlorine in a pool. And here he comes as a pinch hitter. All right, now he's trusting me again. Didn't work. Mike Missanelli Show back after this. You're going to climb in for the last part of this show? Feel free at 610-632-0975.
I got to be honest, Mike. We've been here for 3.5 hours, and as exciting as yesterday was, I still don't know where the fan base is with regard to their confidence level now headed to New York.
You're right. They are not as energized as I thought they would be because Saturday just weighed them down too much.
Yeah, I think you're right. There's not that confidence level. Or Friday, when I was saying I was nervous about this weekend, people were calling up.
Yeah.
Telling me I was crazy.
That's okay. I can understand that. I'm not going to chastise the fans for where they are right now because they're kind of in limbo. They don't know what's going to happen. Now, usually a game like that will give you momentum to go into the next game. But in baseball, that doesn't really carry over like other sports because it's all up to the pitching. And so now they're going to face Sean Manaea and Aaron Nola. Now, I have confidence in Aaron Nola, but there are some times when we've seen that he doesn't get the job done. And if they have to go into the bullpen early, I don't know.
Yeah, but that usually doesn't happen until later in the postseason. Nola's been pretty good.
In the early rounds?
Early. He struggled in the World Series a couple years ago, and I think one start in the NLCS last year.
Right. Do we have any numbers against him on the Mets, against the Mets?
I could pull that up for you.
Yeah, but pull up some numbers of Aaron Nola against the Mets. Especially lately, when's in the regular season? I mean, the Mets were a different team after the All-Star break, so those are numbers that are more relevant. So we'll get those in a second. So Bill, how do you feel? You're going into tomorrow's game at Citi Field. The Mets, I tried to look at their demeanor after they lost that game. They didn't seem to be hangdog about it.
Well, no, because what they wanted to accomplish, they did. You come to Philadelphia, you split. You don't expect to split the way they did, where you beat Wheeler and lose in the Sanchez start. But if I'm the Mets, I'm feeling pretty good. Even though you had this game locked up through 6 innings, you still got to feel good as the New York Mets that you're 1-1 headed home to Citi Field. But as a Philadelphia fan, I actually feel better that the Phillies win this series because I don't think it's realistic. Now, not me knock on wood, but I don't think it's realistic that the bullpen for the Phillies performs as badly as they have performed in these first 2 games the rest of the way. I think they're too good. I think Strom, Hoffman, Estevez, even Alvarado, I think are better than what the Mets bullpen is. And I think you factor that in with what we've been talking about. It's a better Phillies lineup. It's a better Phillies starting rotation. They should have the advantage the next 3. I'm confident the Phillies can win 2 or 3.
All right, Ray, you got numbers?
Yeah, so tale of 2 starts here. The start in May, complete game shutout. 8 strikeouts, allowed just 4 hits. The start in September, 4 1/3. The 2 3-run home runs, allowed 6 earned, and struck out 7.
Yeah. I remember that start now that you bring it up. All right, so the last start wasn't that good. All right, let's look at the stats. Career hitters, Pete Alonso. Oh, boy. Yeah, Pete Alonso's hit 320 and 50 at-bats against Nola with 3 doubles, 5 home runs, and 11 RBIs. The rest have, all right, Lindor. Lindor, 212 against Nola. Marte, 355 against Nola with 31 at-bats. Brandon Nimmo, 250 against them. Tyrone Taylor's 4 for 10 against them. Vientos has only faced him 3 times. He's 1 for 3. And Jesse Winker, I don't know, hope he might play, left-hander. Jose Iglesias, 4 for 9 against them. Well, they got some decent numbers against Nola.
Now, on the other side, if you remember Manaea pitching against the Phillies in the postseason for the Padres, that worked out quite well.
Yeah.
That was
he's different, though.
5 earned. Yeah, absolutely. But
different.
And
he cut his hair.
It's a big deal.
He looks more professional.
That one's sticking out as the big difference in this one?
I don't know. I mean, he pitched pretty well. I mean, he's got that weird whip delivery from way in the left side, which that's probably why they'll have all righties in there, Bill. You're probably right. It'll be Rojas and Hayes. And, maybe he does play with Sosa. Maybe he does. I mean, just because of Minaya, the angle that he throws from.
I think Rojas and Hayes is a guarantee. The Sosa or Stott is the one where maybe Rob Thompson decides, let me roll with the hot hand here. Stott just had a big game. But like you said, he's done that in the past.
I think my sense is he's playing Sosa. All right, let's go to Ryan in Pittsburgh. Ryan, you're on 97.5 The Fanatic. Ryan.
What's up, Mike?
How you doing, Ryan?
Listener. Good, man. First-time caller. Appreciate you for having me on today.
Thanks, buddy.
Hey, got a question. So I've been talking to all my friends today, and none of us can figure out. So shed some light on this. Why wouldn't we have put Jose Alvarado in the ninth yesterday?
He's afraid of him. He's afraid.
You think so?
I think he's afraid of him right now. I think Alvarado is more effective against purely left-handed hitters. I think the splits for the other guys Schramm might be better against them. And when you look at the Mets, they really don't have the power lefty, and so maybe Alvarado doesn't play well in this series to bring him in. Nimmo. The problem is if you bring him in to pitch to Nimmo, he's got to hang in there for three batters. So I don't think Rob Thompson right now is confident that the matchups are right against the Mets.
No, I get that. I get that for sure. Putting Schramm in after Saturday, I was definitely a little worried, but I'm hoping Alvarado could show us something here coming up in New York.
I thought it was really weird that he chose Strahm with right-handed batters coming up. That was the weird thing to me. With Nimmo, the fourth hitter in the inning, he decided to go to Strahm, who has to face righty.
Right.
I didn't know what he was thinking there, and I'm troubled to think that he has lost a little confidence in Hoffman.
But then he went to Hoffman.
Yeah.
After Strahm, he goes to Hoffman.
Yeah, to get the one out against the righty, right?
Yeah. Bill. I was concerned about that too. And you see Hoffman coming back in, I was like, man, what is going on? I mean, everyone was very anxious yesterday, but.
He must have had some numbers that say Strahm. I had to check it. Strahm against those right-handed hitters. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt on that.
Yeah, who knows? But, hey, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for taking my call.
All right, brother. Have fun in Pittsburgh.
Hoffman also had this
playing
stiff
in
neck.
postseason in Pittsburgh? No.
No.
All right. What's that, Brad?
Last week when they were doing the intra-squad, they didn't have Hoffman pitch because he had the stiff neck. I wonder if that's weighing on him.
Well, that's why it's surprising, though, that he brought Hoffman out anyway. Like, if it was the injury he was concerned about, then I would have thought Hoffman wouldn't have been available at all.
He pitched Hoffman Saturday.
Well, I'm just saying, with the performance and then coming the next day, maybe he's a little gun-shy on Hoffman this weekend.
This is the right move. Hoffman to pitch with Alonso to get that last out. That's the right move.
Well,
you only ask him to get a tough right-handed hitter out.
Why not just start the inning with Hoffman?
Well, I don't know about it. See, that's what I'm thinking, that maybe he doesn't trust him that he has to get three batters out there, and he trusts Strahm more. And with one out left, power versus power, he'll take Hoffman against Alonso, who probably doesn't have good numbers against Hoffman.
And I know there are a lot of fans out there who thought Estevez should have come back out in the ninth. You and I agree.
No,
shouldn't have been
his role. He's not. Push guys beyond their role when bad things happen. That's what managers know. Right? They like to keep them in their own little comfort zone. Estevez is probably not the type of guy who can sit on the dugout in the dugout for a little while and then go out and crank it up again.
Yeah, I'm really the only move I questioned of Rob Thompson's was pinch hitting for Sosa after he had already benched Bohm, and then bringing out Strahm as opposed to Hoffman. But there's got to be a reason.
I tweeted that out, and people are going, "This guy has a sports talk radio show. He doesn't even know the rules, man." Strahm, he has to pitch to three hitters. I know he has to pitch to three hitters. What I'm saying is the choice of bringing Strahm in the first place. Like people were thinking I was thinking that we would bring Hoffman in mid at bat. No, I understand, but when you choose your relief pitcher to start that inning, you got righties coming up. Why would you choose Strahm unless he had numbers that indicated that?
And I'm looking at Nola's numbers here, not against the Mets, but just in the postseason. I said he's usually good to start the postseasons. Back in 2022, he had 2 really good starts before he went downhill. And then last year, he had 3 good starts before he went downhill in that final NLCS start that he had in Game 6. So history would tell you probably a good outing tomorrow, right, from Nola?
Yeah.
Right?
I've seen it before. Listen, he's a good pitcher. When he's got his release point down, he's tough to hit. But there are times when he doesn't have that. And I just hope it's not tomorrow. Because if it's not tomorrow, you got Ranger Suarez with the season on the line, my friend.
Oh, man, this is... Game 2 was a must-win for the Phillies. Game 3 is pretty close.
It really is. You lose your center, Ranger Suarez, and you go, I don't know. What do I know? But at this point with Ranger Suarez.
Yeah, I really don't want it to come down to... See, because if Nola can win Game 3... Game 4 now, I feel okay because Ranger Suarez, even if he has a bad outing and you lose, you got to feel good.
You got the hammer left of Game 5.
Yeah, you got coming home with Wheeler on the mound.
Right.
We also don't feel great today given what the bullpen did over the weekend. But for Nola, he needs to get deep into Game 3. Because I can't go into a Game 4 the day after you use your bullpen a ton and have Ranger Suarez on the mound.
He does, but Manaea's going to give them a max of 6. Right? So they got to negotiate the rest of that game with their bullpen right now, and the Mets are leaky.
Manaea's been pretty good this year, though, hasn't he?
Yeah, but he's a 6-inning guy.
Yeah, I doubt he's getting
he's not
3 times through the order.
He's not going past 6. He's had a good year. Yeah, he's had a good year, but he's not going to get you into the 7th or 8th.
Yeah, I'm looking at the last start against the Phillies, he did go 7.
He did? That's unusual. You look at the rest of his starts. What do you see?
So his last 5 starts, not against the Phillies, just in general. He went 5, 3 2/3, 7 against the Phillies.
Throws a lot of pitches.
7 against the Nationals, 6 2/3 against Toronto.
All right, let's go back to the text board. What do we have?
All right, Randy in Wynwood. Our bullpen is less of an issue if the lineup gets to the Mets starters early. Once they get into the Mets pen, it's over. Need starters to do what they do and the offense to get going early.
Well, I agree with that. I mean, that's always a good formula. If you get into the bullpen early, if you can route Manaea in the 4th, say, and then they got to piecemeal the rest, then you're going to see stiffs like Ottavino come in.
Yeah, that's why I said you got to, if you're the Phillies, you got to feel good. You have the better bullpen. It's just, where have they been the first 2 games? Can that continue? I think they bounce back. And now you get to the Mets bullpen, you should have the advantage.
What else we got, Ray?
Norm from Mayfair. Hopefully we get the good Nola, and you don't bench your all-star third baseman in the playoffs. Don't bench Stott either. Phil's in 5.
Phil's in 5, huh? Let's go over the lineup for tomorrow. Let's scratch
We're going to do this a lot tomorrow, too.
Let's scratch it down here. All right. Schwarby, Turner, Harper, Castellanos.
Boom.
JT, Hayes.
Yeah, I'm with you so far.
Wait, no, Stott or Sosa. All right.
Yeah,
so
Hayes will be your 8 hole. Rojas will be your 9. So really, the only question is who's your 7,
and that'll be Sosa.
Be Sosa or Stott.
I think he's going Sosa.
That's usually what he does.
I think he's going all right-handed against Manaea,
and I'd be okay with it. But I'm actually okay either way because before the series, I said I would platoon Stott. But if he decides I'm going to ride the hot hand, he just had that big triple, I like him in the field, I'm okay if he decides to roll out Stott. But either way, I'm fine with that decision. But to me, you don't start Marsh. I'm Buster Olney, all due respect, as Mike would say, all due respect.
All due respect.
Buster Olney's wrong there. You don't start Marsh in this game.
I don't start Rojas. I'm sorry. I know.
Why do you hate him so much?
I don't hate him. He just doesn't give me enough with the bat. He's
been on base twice.
But he's not a threat with the bat. And I don't understand how anybody could walk him. I just don't get it. How anybody could walk him. And when people say, well, he makes a no. Listen, Marsh can run down a fly ball. I get it. He can make a more spectacular catch. That's not a reason why I have him in the lineup. I got to have more professional hitters in a playoff lineup. But Rob Thompson's going to ride him. He likes him.
Brandon Marsh has not been on base once in 2 games. Rojas has been on base twice. And he got taken out early yesterday.
He hit a flare to left field and he walked.
I'll take it. I'll take it. It's more than what Marsh is giving you.
All right, but Marsh has more thunder.
And then he strikes
He's a
out.
gap-to-gap hitter.
I'm going with Rojas, man.
You love yourself some Rojas.
I do. I like him. I like him on the base pass.
Yeah, I don't
like him in center field. Look, Austin Hayes better show up, too. Because this is somebody, I don't want to be negative today, but I did not like what Dombrowski did at the deadline. I told you that. Austin Hayes, this is why you brought him here. So he better be in the lineup tomorrow night.
All right, my closing argument today is, where do you stand, Philly fans? I was at the game Saturday night. I saw a bunch of people so disgusted that they walked out after the bottom of the 8th inning. Now, hopefully, last night brought you back, but I didn't sense it today. I didn't sense the excitement about the Phillies and what they did yesterday, which I think kind of awakens them offensively to go into these next couple of games. They have to go into Citi Field and face some left-handed pitchers. So hopefully the righties and Harper, who doesn't have a problem with that, come through. They get up early. They get Minaya out of the game. The Mets have to rest the rest of the game with a bullpen, which their bullpen is leaking completely right now. So I really like them. I'm really optimistic going into Tuesday's game. I think the Phillies take a 2-1 lead in this series with a big effort from Nola and a big offensive output. And then I think the Mets could be done. Yes, this resilient team, I think you could kill them tomorrow night. That's my closing argument.
And I'm right there with you tomorrow night. I think Nola is going to have a great outing. I think they're going to be able to light up the pitching staff for the Mets, get to that bullpen and show why the Phillies bullpen is better than the Mets bullpen. But game 4, we'll see. We will see. But that closing argument was brought to you by Lowenthal and Abrams attorneys. Injured in an accident. Call 1-800-876-LAWYER or visit LowenthalAbrams.com.
All right, don't forget, we're going to be gacked up for the Flyers this week. Actually, I'll miss a couple of days because I'll be on an operating table.
Yeah, don't be sarcastic.
And again, I think that I may have to try to come in a little shungai, as we say, from anesthetic on Thursday.
Well, depending on what happens.
Depending on what happens.
Yeah.
If the Phillies win 2 or the Mets win 2, Thursday will be a monster reaction day.
Yeah, and you're not going to be here.
Come in under the influence of anesthetics.
All right,
and I'll have to maybe stand up to do the show. Let's see if I can do it. Can we get this microphone up?
We can, but we'd have to lift. We'd have to lift up the.
All right, let's see if it's feasible. What about the camera? If I stand up like this, can we do it?
Sure. We'll talk to engineering.
We'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yeah, figure it out quick.
It better be, though, us reacting to the series win, and not that the Mets won both in Citi Field, because that would be a terrible, terrible Thursday.
It would be amongst the worst losses in Philadelphia sports history if the Phillies did lose this series in 4 games to the New York Mets.
It's not going to happen,
That is correct. All right, everybody have a great rest of the day. Be safe out there. The autumn weather, I love this autumn weather when it changes into that 75 temperature area, right?
Best time of year?
Absolutely. Right, nice job today. Everybody have a great rest of the day. We'll see you tomorrow.